30 to 50% of your fractures produce 80% of your hydrocarbons.
That lends a lot of credibility. You know, if you come in and can be upfront and honest and say, you know, actually in this application, I think this product over here that I don't represent would be better for you. That all of a sudden now you become a trusted advisor rather than a salesman.
And you know, I often say that we have all the requirements of space, right? Because it has to go underground and send us data from miles and miles away, and it has to work. Like, failure is not an option.
We'll put on, you know, a standard mule shoe. Ours is slightly different just for that, but it's, you know, everybody's got one.
The top drive and the drawworks really don't care whether the electrons coming at it are from a joystick or a PLC.
The panel, what you see here on the left, which is now controlled by one of my students, is showing you actually the control of our brakes.
As of now, geothermal is a pretty small market.
If you have tortuosity, the casing will be up against the side on part of the well. There won't be any cement there. The cement will have crescent around it.
So managed pressure drilling, it's been defined as a process to precisely control the pressure profile in the wellbore.
The key is being transparent with our clients in this case. So tell them what happened. If we had a failure, tell them exactly what happened. Whether it's our fault, whether it's whatever the issue was, we need to be transparent.
But I think it's very important for everyone in the industry to know what's out there and kind of what's happening downhole as well.
I've probably worked on over 40 different performance limiters in my career. If I miss any of those, and the computer is raising weight on bit, and I miss any of those, I have a train wreck. The computer's going in the ocean.
Here's your new colors, here's your new thing. We won't do that
at all. Here's the tattoo you need to get.
Yeah, here's the tattoo. Sorry about the last one. We used to fake that all the time.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. Got to take a deep breath and make sure that I don't get too excited like the last one. This is the Gibson Reports virtual MPD event with our title sponsor, Pruitt. Wow. So much work has gone into this, and I am so excited to have everybody here watching. First things first, please let us know where you guys are watching from. If this is your first time watching a live stream with myself, if this is the first event that I've put on that you guys have watched, let me know. If you watched the rotary steerable one, let us know that in the comment section as well. I know that we're going to have tons of people tuning in from around the world. We had over 11,700 people signed up to be able to attend this event. I could not be more excited. I think it's a great opportunity for us to be able to bring to light one of the amazing verticals within our industry, which is managed pressure drilling. We're going to have tons of amazing companies being able to present to you today, talk to you about their different types of technologies, their methodologies, as well as we're going to be talking to a panel of operators and then as well a panel of drilling contractors that are going to all of them will be sharing their information, their foresight, what they think is going to be happening within the managed pressure drilling community in that portion of our industry. Wow. I cannot stress enough how much work actually goes in to be able to put one of these events on. It's absolutely, it's one of these things that I never thought this was what I would be doing. I do enjoy it though, and I'm happy to be able to do this. So let's say hi to a couple of people while the comments are already starting to come in. Yeah, be sure, like, the whole reason that we do this live and for free is for you, the community out there. We want you guys to be able to watch. We want you guys to be able to see this. We want y'all to be able to take part. So please throw out some comments, ask questions to all of the presenters, even if they don't have the time to be able to do all the Q&A. They've got people that are watching in the wings that are going to be answering questions. Even if they're not on the screen, they're probably going to be answering questions during other people's presentations. So fire off your questions. You don't have to stand in line. You don't have to get up to a microphone. You could just fire them off just as you want. So please, let's be as interactive as we possibly can. That's the whole point of this. This is the Gibson reports virtual MPD event. Don't crack under the managed pressure drilling. I can't even get, it's my event and I can't even get the tagline out right. So let's say hi to a couple of people. Oh, good gosh, it's going by so fast. Mario Teixeira saying hi from Brazil. Thanks for being here. We've got Denmark tuning in. Mr. DJ DeLeon from Elk City, Oklahoma. Very special man indeed. Glad that you're here, sir. Oh my gosh, these are going by quick. We've got Bjarn. I hope that I can get that one right. Tuning in from Denmark. One of the presenters that's going to be on later, Martin Holland, who's with Kelda Dynamics. He's going to be tuning in from Dubai. Glad that he's here. Howard Wood, thanks for being here, sir. Aberdeen. Wait, is this? Oh, somebody was saying hi to Scott, who's also presenting, saying hi to the other presenters. I thought that was HI for Hawaii. I thought somebody was tuning in from Hawaii. Got excited there for a second. But we're still happy that Scott's here with us. Checking my time because the last time I did this, I ran out of time, and it looks like I'm doing that as well. All right, so I need to be able to get on with it and talk about some of the stuff that's important to me. All right, so a couple of things. First things first, I got to get the other comment off the screen first. Sorry, guys. Oh, Matt Hill's here. Matt, thanks for being here, sir. All right, brand. Click button. There we go. July 23rd, I will be hosting a panel for the Pivot 2021 Geothermal Project. Jamie Beard's helping me put this on. Absolute amazing person, absolute amazing content. Be sure to check that out. Sign up, register. Also, I am now approved to be able to stream live on Amazon. So I'm going to be bringing the oil and gas industry over to Amazon Live and be able to talk about all the different oil and gas things. Who is calling me right now? No. Now is not the time. I don't need to update the warranty on my car. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and take this off. That's distracting. Okay. And I just threw it on the floor. All right. Amazon Live, I'm going to be talking to people who are purchasing oil and gas-based products, hydrocarbon products, energy products directly to them. I would love to be able to have all of y'all's support. All right. Next thing's next. I cannot understate this. This individual is absolutely amazing. Go and connect with this person on LinkedIn directly after the show, or open a new tab and then go connect with him. Roscoe Prince, I'm not going to call him an intern because this person is a full-fledged engineer. He's still in school at Texas A&M, but has been doing some amazing work for me. And so I wanted to be able to share that with you guys real quick. I asked him in like one phone call, and we've had probably maybe 3 update calls and a handful of texts to be able to execute something for me, and he has done it absolutely phenomenally. Let's show you guys this real quick. Add to stream. So what I said was I want to be able to show if a company has done work to a given certain API or something, and then be able to find any drilling permits that are happening within, let's say, a 10-mile radius of where they've done work. So right now I've got selected up on the screen. One of the companies is Dixon Directional, great client of mine, absolute amazing people over there, and hopefully all of them are watching. All you have to do is select the survey company name or the service company name, and you scroll, zoom in here, and then we can come over, highlight, and say this grouping of wells, right? Granted, this is a live build. This is live software. This is everything right here. They highlight some of the wells, right? And then scroll down, and it shows all of the open drilling permits that have happened within a 10, that are not happened, but have been filed within a 10-mile radius of any work that they've already done. If this is something that interests you or your company, get in touch with me. We can get your data into the system, find out where you've done all your work, and then we can start telling you all of the offset drilling permits that are coming up around you. If you're already a directional drilling and or MWD service provider, this is already live and ready to go. So there we go. I'm down to 1 minute. Whew. Okay. Take that off the screen. What else did I have on my list? If you are watching, do me a big favor. Tag a friend in the comments. Just let them know that, you know, there's something cool happening. Tag a friend in the comments. Let them know. If you are watching this live, you already are getting to see it live. If you have to step away, this will still be live on YouTube afterwards and on LinkedIn. We're also streaming live on Facebook. I don't know if anybody even uses that more. And if you haven't already, please connect with me on LinkedIn. You hit the follow button or you connect with me. I'm always trying to be able to put out the best content that I can. I'm really excited about this event. I think I am 14 seconds away from my time. Thank y'all so much for being here. All right, our first presenter is from our title company, Pruitt. And let me make sure I get everything done right. Okay, the thing's flashing at me. Here is your title sponsor and the very first presenter for you guys today, Pruitt. Take it away, guys.
Thanks, David. Yeah, good morning. I'd like to start off by thanking David for putting on this event and for the invitation. I'm fortunate to be able to talk about Pruitt MPD services from a slightly different angle. As many people in the industry know, I've been involved with, well, initially UBD, and it led into MPD when the technique and technologies were first being implemented. I also had experience working both sides of the fence, for major operating companies and for major service providers. It was with this holistic view of the industry that spurred me into wanting to start a new MPD company. I was fortunate. I had that opportunity with a well-established rotating control device company called Pruitt. More than anything, though, I was fortunate that Pruitt shared the same vision as to what an MPD company should be. Our vision, goal for MPD, is to provide full MPD service with an emphasis on quality and service. When I say full MPD service, what do I mean? Well, let's talk about what Pruitt believes is not MPD. MPD is not a choke dropped off on a location. MPD is not a throttling valve, which in reality is just shutting in on a connection, well bore pressure is building up against it, it's opening, and the throttling profile, etc., is aimed at aiding that valve to open. MPD is not just well engineering support, and MPD is not developing control software. Pruitt is MPD. We are an equipment manufacturer. We provide high quality MPD engineering. We develop our own MPD software and controls. And we do this to be a quality provider of MPD services. Now, let me be a little bit controversial. So bear with me on this. I don't believe or buy into unmanned MPD. Why, you ask? I do believe fully in automation. However, there is a difference. There is always a person behind an MPD system to input all the variables that build the model, well-designed BHA, mud properties, etc. Sure, you can instrument and automate some of that, but there is always a person, and these parameters change. So the question is, how good is the person? Is this something added to their workload? Do they really understand it? Are they a professional with deep understanding of MPD and wellbore hydraulics? Do they have subject matter expert level of support? Because for value-added MPD, we are not talking about equipment rental. And this brings me to the discussion on MPD-ready rigs. I understand it for drill ships and semis, where the marine riser is integral to the project. It should sit with the rig. But even here, additional specialized training and MPD personnel are utilized or added to the crews. But for land, jackups, platforms, surface stack, a truly specialized MPD service company should be able to make these kind of rigs MPD ready in 24 hours with one person per shift, backed up with a dedicated engineering and support team, and deliver success. I believe that is our space. To truly deliver high quality added value MPD service, a company's ability to provide these services is comprised by the sum of all its parts. To that end, at Pruitt, we are focused on setting yourself up for success. And here's how we do that. Well engineering. In our team, we have a 20+ year MPD engineer who did his PhD thesis in MPD well candidate selection. Significant MPD experience. We also have senior staff drilling engineers, ex-drilling engineers from major operators who specialized in MPD. Why do we have such experienced MPD engineers, true subject matter experts? Simply because unless you have a solid plan on how you're going to implement MPD techniques, you are behind the curve. In MPD, you plan to succeed, and if you're reacting, you're already disadvantaged. Delivering an engineered approach, that's our business, it's our service. Safe hands. All Pruitt MPD personnel must have well control level 4. They must have completed extensive internal evaluation, be familiar with our equipment, procedures, and directives. They must be safe hands. They must also understand that we, as a company, empower them to use stop work authority. To do that, we have implemented what we call the Pressure Operations Directive, a set of rules that our MPD personnel must comply with. The goal, protect our clients, protect ourselves. We are integral to the operation's primary well control, and we take that responsibility seriously. Equipment. All Pruitt MPD equipment is fully compliant with industry standards. We have cradle-to-grave asset management and fully documented COCs. We carried out extensive research on all the components in our systems. Reliability, repeatability of performance, standardization across the fleet. Maintenance. We have a dedicated in-house maintenance team. They follow detailed procedures, and at the end of each maintenance program, our equipment is flow looped as a package to ensure it all communicates with one another and is fully connected, and all connectivity is tested before every mobilization. Not accepting non-productive time. Pruitt MPD has a record of less than 1 in 1,000 hours non-productive time. Choke related, we are looking at less than 1 in 2,000 hours. This is an extraordinary accomplishment, especially when you consider that 95% of US land work is done with a single choke. We simply don't want our clients or our personnel suffering the pressure of non-productive time. Technology. We utilize our in-house developed control system. We have zero need for equipment tuning. All electric control MPD systems to give what we believe is one of, if not the fastest, most accurate surface back pressure systems in the industry. Because precise control of your surface pressure gives precise control of your annular pressure regime. An OCD level of standardization. All of our equipment is the same. We have 2 styles of packages, but we use the same chokes, actuators, cable connectors, compatible control systems. All of our equipment is interchangeable. We have standardized pipework packages, standardized spares packages to go with each system, each mobilization. We carry significant spares. Why do we carry such significant spares when we have such low MPT? It's no good having your spares in the base far from the job. If we have a problem, our field crews need to know they are equipped to deal with it. So we can make any land rig, jack-up, drilling platform 100% ready within 24 hours of arrival on location. We've done it many times, all the time actually. Offshore. Soon we'll be presenting an SPE paper where within a month of first contact, without a rig visit and with only virtual planning, we became 100% operational on a deep water platform in the Gulf of Mexico, including helping our client with the engineering support and completing any BSEE required documentation. On another deep water Gulf of Mexico project, we recently rigged up and commissioned in under 12 hours. Here, we helped our client drill hydrostatically under balance, run casing under pressure, and perform managed pressure cementing with 1 person per shift. Client feedback, stellar performance. I like to call it setting yourself up for success. Onshore, we've had emergency call-outs. We've had trucks rolling and been rigged up and commissioned within 24 hours of that call. Whilst the trucks are on the road, we have developed MPD well engineering plans before the rig up is completed. Emergency call-out MPD, what is that? 2 examples. We've had a client who became differentially stuck. We've had many clients where we've mobilized to who have been fracked into by their neighbor. In these situations, we have been able to use MPD techniques to resolve the issues. Recommended practice. We're involved with the IDC and the MPD committees and its work groups to develop RP, recommended practice. We base our management system on delivering recommended practice. Planning, feed, equipment design, technical safety by design, competency, training. For us, recommended practice is not recommended. You simply must follow it. When you are drilling wells hydrostatically under balanced fluids, this is not something you should take lightly. I strongly recommend that all companies participating in MPD review recommended practice. It was written for your benefit by the industry. The results of MPD, or Pruitt's MPD approach, is clear. We have maintained a 96% average client satisfaction rating across all jobs performed in a 5-year period. Performance, offshore, we have kept ECDs and windows as tight as 0.2 ppg window without back pressure pumps on deep water MPD operations. Onshore, one of our projects, we did over 544 connections with an average connection time of about 4 minutes. But this was ultra shallow, 2800 TVD. The wells were drilled with produced water, no back pressure pump, no cross circulation, automated pressure trapping, and it was an extremely challenging project. For wellbore stability, if we didn't get it right, the well collapses. The result, Pruitt delivered success. So what is our vision going forward? Continue to develop our technologies in ways that directly benefit our clients and our personnel. Work with the industry through recommended practice to deliver safer operations. We want to be the company operators choose when they need success. In a LinkedIn world of hashtags, we are #DoneRight. I want to end by thanking all of the Pruitt team we call family, who make up the sum of all parts. I want to thank David for putting on the event, and I want to thank the audience for your time today. Thank you.
Martin, thank you for the amazing presentation. For anybody out there, be sure to check out their website and any of their social media links. All right, next up on the presentation, Bill, we've got Neil Richard with Premium Oilfield. Here we go. You guys take it away.
All right. Thank you, David, for the introduction. Good morning. Again, my name is Neil Richard. As a representative of Premium Oilfield Technologies, we are really excited to take part in this event. We thank you for taking the time to hear about the exciting new technologies that we have to offer. Premium Oilfield Technologies are a global oilfield services company with operational and manufacturing facilities in North America, in South America, Asia, the Middle East, and in Russia. Our company consists of team leaders in their respective fields who specialize in providing the best products and service in the industry. Some of these products include mud pump expendables, top drive sales and service, shaker screens, RCDs, and MPD. All of the technologies being revealed today have been developed in less than 2 years, which is a testament to the hard work of all involved. The components used in our MPD systems are not piecemealed from various over-the-counter products, but instead are specifically developed with MPD in mind. Premium's TrueFlow MPD system is designed, manufactured, assembled, and operated by Premium Oilfield, solely because the current available offering did not fit our customers' needs or requirements. We have developed our MPD offering based solely on the request from the client. Simpler, smarter, faster, more precise, economical, and easy to install and interchange between rigs. The TrueFlow MPD system is designed to be installed in a variety of different arrangements, from a set point choke to a multi-choke manifold, including the option of adding flow meters and electric valve actuation. The Shore Torque electric actuator is at the center of the MPD and variable valve product offerings. It is really the brain behind the pressure control functions, taking the reliance off distant software and PLC controls. TrueFlow is an economical option to customers without sacrificing speed or control. And this is because Premium manufactures nearly 100% of the MPD system in-house. Premium can also provide a small footprint, single or dual choke manifold if requested by the customer. Everything shown in the dual choke manifold on the left is manufactured in-house. The gate valves, the blocks, the spools, the chokes, and even the electric actuators are designed and manufactured by Premium. The manifold's chokes require no J-boxes, no VFDs, no enclosures. The TFC 3000 MPD chokes have independent pressure transmitters. They communicate directly with local devices, resulting in a truly autonomous control. A Coriolis meter can be added for precise monitoring of flow out of the well. Premium's TFC 3000 MPD choke was designed specifically for MPD. One of the key features of the choke is the trim design, which provides a linear CV curve due to advanced geometry. This proprietary design is field proven and provides repeatable and predictable pressure control response. The TFC 3000 choke has a full opening stroke, nearly twice the standard MPD choke, allowing for more debris clearance and reducing the likelihood of plugging. When the linear drive choke is paired with the Shore Torque actuator, it can fully cycle in just 3 seconds. The speed and control are unmatched in the industry. The Shore Torque actuator is truly a game changer in hazardous location motion control. Shore Torque consists of a fully integrated servo motor drive unit designed specifically for MPD using technology originally developed for NASA. Shore Torque is certified to Class 1, Division 1, and tested to international standards as well. Shore Torque is the world's first hazardous area integrated servo motor drive. Shore Torque eliminates the need for bulky and expensive variable frequency drives without sacrificing speed or controllability. Equipped with onboard controls, the unit communicates directly with local transmitters, which allows for pressure and flow to be registered locally at the unit. Torque is measured, it is not calculated, providing precise feedback on motor performance. This is due to redundant onboard encoders and an integrated torque spring. Premium has developed a unique and proprietary pressure control algorithm, which runs locally on the actuators, high-speed processor, which uses torque in conjunction with an advanced P&I control loop for a faster and more precise method for controlling pressure. Shore Torque actuator can operate independently of MPD software. It's kind of like cruise control for a choke. You give it a set point and that's all it needs. The controls are local to the actuator. The choke is far superior to competing systems with trapping pressure. And this is due to the direct correlation between the pressure and the torque and the unit quickly snapping to known set point torque values. Shore Torque incorporates Ethernet protocol for easy integration onto any rig. Just give it an IP address. The combination of technologies between the linear CV and predictability of the choke, paired with the precision, speed, and control provided by the servo-driven actuator, delivers increased performance in orders of magnitude in comparison with any other electric MPD choke system on the market today. TrueFlow MPD software is an intelligent yet user-friendly interface that is designed to be operated with very little training. The system was designed to simply install on just about any drilling rig. Premium's TrueFlow MPD system is truly the solution to equip a rig to be MPD ready. This is because the system has a minimal footprint and can quickly and easily be moved from one rig to the next. The MPD chokes can also be connected directly to the rig's network and operated by the rig systems using a proprietary interface unit. Just give the choke an IP address, connect, and you're done. Premium's TrueFlow MPD system uses minimum power consumption, 90 to 240 volt AC single phase, with power measurements of just 55 watts to operate the entire system, including the choke, at 2000 PSI. The Model T T3000 RCD is an innovative design, providing better performance at a lower cost. The T3000 is statically rated and tested to 3000 PSI. Premium's RCD has a unique pneumatic hydraulic hands-free bearing latch system. The RCD body uses available rig air to operate the latch mechanism, eliminating the need for an HPU and reducing the footprint on the rig. The latching dogs are spring-loaded, fail-safe closed, preventing inadvertent unlatching. Latch position can be visually inspected from outside of the RCD for verification, and a mechanical override system is available to force the latch open in the unlikely event that the piston does not fully cycle. Our bearing assemblies are designed to withstand extreme radial and axial loading forces. The bearing assemblies are equipped with gravity-fed bearing lubrication. No HPU is required to lubricate, or to cool the bearing. Oil level and cleanliness can quickly be determined between runs through a visual inspection port. The bearing has a 9-inch drift ID, which will accommodate up to 6 5/8-inch drill pipe and is rated for up to 220 RPMs. Another unique feature is the quick change sealing element system, which allows for faster and easier element changeouts. At Premium Oilfield Technologies, we develop innovative designs providing the best performance using less equipment at a lower cost. Premium is the only company that can provide a complete MPD package designed and manufactured in-house. We don't buy and repurpose equipment that is expensive, slow, fragile, or designed for other applications. Because Premium has designed and manufactured almost 100% of the system, it is the most economical yet accurate system available today. To learn more about TrueFlow MPD or any other MPD offerings that Premium can provide, please contact us using the website on the screen. You can also contact me directly via email at neil@premiumoilfield.com. Thank you for your time, and thank you, David, for hosting this event.
Well, Neil, thank you guys so much for taking part of this excellent presentation. I don't know what that is there on your desk, but it looks like it's in the way.
It's an actuator.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. All right, next up to be able to do a presentation, we've got Saeed with Frontier International. Here we go. Saeed, take it away, sir.
Thank you, David. Good morning and good evening to everyone. Saeed Bitalbi with Frontier International. I'm here to present to you Frontier vision of MPD. So when we little technical issue here. Okay, fixed. When we started looking at MPD about 2.5, 3 years ago, in the North American market, we looked at the equipment available and what was used. And what we realized is most of the equipment on land was, over-engineered, over-spec'd. A lot of it was legacy equipment, which created a lot of complexity in control system and created a lot of long commissionings and bigger crews, which in turn impacted the efficiencies of MPD operations, as well as slow rig up, rig move, standalone system that weren't integrated with the drilling rigs. And of course, the economic, high capital for the service company, high operating costs for the clients, too many people on location, and a lot of non-productive times. Our solution was to design a fit-for-purpose MPD equipment for land in the U.S. In the U.S., we don't use a lot of constant bottom hole pressure. It's mainly trapping pressure, and therefore a lot of features and equipment that was brought in was over-designed. So our technology is robust, reliable. Our system is intuitive, easy to use, and user-friendly. The technology we use is smart technology, but proven technology, which allows us to improve our efficiencies. A matter of fact, most of our equipment is fully integrated with the drilling rigs, and therefore it moves from one location to another easily with minimum time. It is fully integrated with the drilling system, which allows us to achieve further automation. The economics are simple. It's the driller operates the system, and therefore there are no needs for people on location. There's always a possibility to have experts on location to help, especially for the startup of the operation. But what we have seen is within a couple of days, the driller is fully capable in operating those systems. And the good thing is no service is needed. The fact that the equipment is integrated with the drilling system, it allows us today to have visibility of other data that the rig collects, and also the ability to achieve further optimization and further performance. At this time, I will ask David to play a video demonstrating the control system. David, please.
Hey guys, it's Sven here. I'm the chief. Hey guys, it's Sven here. I'm the chief MPD software engineer here at Frontier International. I'm going to show you a little bit about what we do and how we work with things here at our company. So one of the most important things that we do is remote monitoring and optimization of operations. We use the latest in web-based and edge technologies to monitor performance and keep track of our assets in the field. So as you can see on my screen right now, I'm looking at one of our operations where the rig is currently doing a connection. So one of the most important things in managed pressure drilling is to compensate for the loss of ECD when the pumps are shut down. So in this case here, they're drilling ahead with 300 gallons per minute, and as they ramp the pumps down to do a connection, our system automatically applies the corresponding amount of surface back pressure to compensate for the loss of ECD. So in this operation right here, we're applying 650 psi automatically as the pumps are ramped down. And we do this by using smart automation. What we mean by that is we make our systems very simple to operate by making it very advanced under the hood. So we use adaptive controllers that automatically change their gains based on the current operational trends and limit the amount of manual operation needed by the driller. So to show you an example of what we do is run our systems in the driller's chair, where, as you can see from this interface here, this is Innovo's drilling automation platform app that the driller can monitor and operate. And while drilling and making connections, all he has to do is put the system in drilling mode, and the system will automatically compensate for changes in flow rates and other operational parameters. So for the majority of land operations, the most important thing that we do is compensate for change in flow rates. As we move into other operations such as international operations and offshore operations, we also have more advanced operational modes. For example, fully automated hydraulic models. As you can see in this case now, we turned on our hydraulic model, and now the system is running fully automatic based on the calculations of the hydraulic model. So in this way, we can support any operation from standard land-based operation to the more advanced, to the fully automated offshore applications, deepwater applications. And with that, Saeed, I'll turn it back to you to tell us some more about our plans and strategy for offshore applications.
Thank you, Sven. Just to add a little bit to what Sven was talking about here on the control system, it is the smallest footprint in the industry. It does not require a server system or complex VFD, which we all know are prone to failure. It's certified to all applicable industry standard. It's a plug-and-play system, meaning that the system will automatically recognize if you have one choke or two choke, or if you have a Coriolis flow meter, it will pick up those tags and automatically build the setup. It is optimized, as everything else we do at Frontier is optimized for the driller to operate the system. We like to keep things simple. It has built-in features, safety features, and recovery in case we exceed the pressure rating of any equipment or even downhole conditions. It is a fully scalable system. So we started on land, but now we are in the international market where it's required to have two chokes and a flow meter. So it's the same simplicity, and we can build on it up to, this control panel can operate up to 4 chokes, for example. And once we started looking at the challenges in North American land, we start asking ourselves also, what is the biggest hurdle or headache that operator or drilling contractor have in the offshore market? And the main answer that you hear most of the time is the RCD. So with the same philosophy, we looked at a criteria to design an RCD that was designed for intense drilling application. The bearing was reliable, field serviceable bearing, meaning you can service that bearing on location. You don't need to ship it back to the base. A higher dynamic pressure rating, addressing misalignment. We know that not all rigs are aligned properly. And of course, a low operating system. With that, the solution we came up with is an RCD that is maximum rating is 300 RPMs. Pressure rating designed and tested to 5,000 PSI, 2,500 PSI at 100 RPM, as well as 5,000 PSI with at 0 to 30 RPM. And this feature here is mainly designed for well-controlled situation. We got a kick and somebody needs to keep the drill pipe rotating a little bit to avoid getting stuck. But one of my features that I like about this system is the dynamic seals have an estimated life of at least 500 hours, and the bearing should last at least 1,000 hours. We didn't stop at shallow water. We always interested in pushing the frontier. So we co-developed a deep water MPD riser joint below tension ring with Oil State Industry. This joint was designed fit for purpose for offshore application. And by that, I mean, it wasn't a system that people bought a couple of pieces and put them together and stick them in water. This was engineered and designed specifically for that. It is one of the shortest, lightest, most robust MPD riser joint. With this system, you can retrieve your bearings and your annular packer without disconnecting the riser. Combine this with our MPD surface offering, we believe we have a very good solution for the market. And time's up, David.
So, hey, thank you guys so much for taking part. I do appreciate y'all being here. Amazing presentation. Look forward to hearing more out of you guys in the near future. All right. Where's the button go? Oh, there it is. All right. Next up, I told him I would butcher his name, but I'm going to promise I don't do this. It's Grant Was, Salos Sunesis. Grant, take it away.
Hi, David.
Sarah.
Thanks very much. I'll explain a little bit about our name in a second. If you could just share my screen, David, that'd be great. Thanks, everybody, for your time. If you can just put that in a small box, David, that'd be great. I'm just going to tell a quick story, just in terms of what we do and how we do it. And just quickly, we were talking to our aviation friends about how you deal with complex operations. And that's what managed pressure drilling is all about. It's very complex. We've got people in multiple locations. And the aviation world is the same. They've got lots of challenges in terms of environment, in terms of sudden workload, automation, and long periods of boredom. And then suddenly we're actually got some action. So when you look at our worlds and their worlds, we originally thought, well, they're quite different, but they're not. They're actually very much the same. And so the difference is that we've got about 22 people involved in that well. Some people have got an influence on that well in terms of, if it's not just the driller, the MPD team, the mud loggers, the shakermen, etc. So our world's quite different. But the difference in their training, and it's so advanced, is basically they're 20 years ahead in terms of linking the technical and human performance. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to look at that in particular. And what we're doing now is we're taking teams into actual flight simulators and teaching them about human factors, because that's where we really make sure the technical happens. So typically we look at MPD and we think about these things because we're engineers. We think about the reality of, the technical. We're good at equipment calibration. We're looking at hydraulic modeling. We're looking at variations, etc. But the reality is it's what's below the surface that where 80% of the incidents come from. Poor communication, high workload. We think automation sorts everything, but where automation fails, workload goes through the roof. And the aviation world, they train for that, and that's what we're training teams to do. So let's go back to Salos. Salos Sunesis, as David said, was a very hard name to pronounce. It means wave of knowledge in Greek. And that's what we bring to our projects. We've got a 25-year track record. We started in the HPHT space, and we moved as MPD, developed from UBD into that space. We're ISO 9001, and we're involved in a number of other accreditations or organizations, such as Step Change in Safety. So we've been doing this for a long time. So if you look at our portfolio of services, it's quite broad. Advanced human factors, for example, we've just been teaching Total's safety coaches advanced human factors so they can apply it into their safety operations. Performance improvement, we're down in Malaysia on a deep water campaign and a shallow water campaign and interventions with PTTEP. HPHT, we're out in the North Sea in terms of Glengorm. And then basically consultancy, we just finished a project last year with Diamond and Shell where they wanted a complex competence review for a complex well project, and we brought that together for them. So we're going to talk about MPD today, and we're going to look a little bit more at what we do. But going back to belief, is what we believe is that changes in behavior transform operational delivery. That's the key thing here, is our behavior determines our success in life, and it determines our success in operations. So we're good as a company at unlocking the individuals, unlocking the teams, and partnering with world-leading teams. And that's just a few of the logos that you'll recognize there. So we're actually extremely good in terms of building and releasing performance with your teams and letting your teams deliver great. It's not what good is, it's what great is. And this is what great is. This is what great looks like. And that's what we start with, the end in mind. So in this case, very challenging, complex MPD well, very difficult in terms of very narrow window. And then what we did was we worked with a drilling contractor. They brought us in to do immersive simulator training. We did a team synergy workshop with a leadership team. We got them aligned. And then we did leadership training offshore and went out and did that and built their leadership capability. And then from the operator side, we reviewed the procedures. We helped them in terms of training, operational coaching at the well site. And we actually were involved in providing safety coaches as well. So this is typically what we think MPD looks like as a community. You know, when we're new to MPD, we think it's all about, you know, being able to thread the needle, when we've got a very tight window of pour and frac, how do we get through it? Well, MPDs, as Martin's talked about, you know, we're able to drill under balance, statically under balanced, and then we can apply back pressure. So that's typically a benefit. And on HPHT wells, for example, that's often the case, very narrow windows. But there's much more that we can release here in terms of value for our clients. And we call it review, operationalize, improve. That's our process, ROI plus. And what we look at is we help you at the engineering side, the scoping side, feasibilities, look at your value drivers, look at your well design, look at your integration, help you optimize your MPD provider and program. And then we look in terms of operations, HAZOps, DWOPs, etc. So we get your personnel ready and we make sure the equipment's QA, QC'd in that preparation stage. And then in execution, we help you basically optimize your team at the well site. We help optimize in terms of commissioning, the well site training. It's what we get involved in terms of helping the teams. And then we have a number of audit systems, coaching, and it's well specific and rig specific. So if you look at how we release value, there's actually quite a lot of opportunities here. So we know that MPD can reduce casing strings, stretch trajectories. We can make quality annulus isolations with MPD cementing, for example. It actually improves drilling efficiency. We've got 1,000 mud weights in our pocket and we can use them. And that's one of the real advantages here. So there's also an ability to understand the well better, what the parameters are. Reduce MPT. Actually, we're able to take micro influxes and circulate them out, and really, in terms of mitigate that a lot of downtime. Because, for example, Martin talked about it actually earlier, is even in terms of stuck pipe, we're able to reduce back pressure and get unstuck. So there's a lot of tools. So what do? We do a number of things through the process. We need to create value and help our clients create value at the early stage. So what does that look like? That looks like value creation events, early stage gates, challenging the concept, setting your value drivers, really getting to the bottom of how we release and maximize value for you. And check in terms of feasibility as well, where there's value to be had in MPD. The value creation events look more like this now. We're doing a lot more of these online, where we actually do DWOPs and workshops. We just did an MPD risk assessment one the other week. So we're releasing that value online. You don't need everybody to travel, but it's highly interactive. So MPD well site services, we provide well site advisors. So we basically help you apply our roadmap so you basically can deliver the optimum MPD well. You spent millions in your acquisition and your design, and it's about execution at that stage. So we provide coaches, training, mentoring, and that's well and rig specific. So we develop training modules and we train your teams. So one of the other things we get involved in, I'm standing just now in front of one, is basically drilling the well on simulator. We can use these modern simulators, and we basically use these, we program in your well risks, your well challenges, and what we do is we basically look at your program and de-risk it, and then we create virtual snapshots, and then we take the team, your drilling supervisors, your third parties, and we drill the well on simulator, and we get action in terms of technical and non-technical. The results, in this case for this team, best in class for cost, best in class for schedule, no stuck pipe or well control issues, and this was a field that was notorious for stuck pipe or well control. And the interesting thing is 90% of the team were new to this rig. They were familiar with the D-class Merce rig, but they weren't familiar with this team. So it was building a new team. And then in terms of the operator here, this is Petronas, now making it mandatory, and we've got a number of more projects coming up. So hopefully that's giving you an overview of who we are. The key thing here is that what Salos can do is give you unbiased expert advice. We can help you align your value drivers, get the full advantages of MPD. That has to come in at the early stages in the well design and the execution. That's where the big wins are, such as opportunities to reduce casing strengths. We integrate the technical and the non-technical, and we elevate the crew competency and performance for your teams. So hopefully that just gives you an overview. We really want to thank you for your time. Thank you for listening. We'll just want to say to you, if you can follow our teams on LinkedIn, Salos Sunesis, get in touch, share your challenges, follow us on LinkedIn, and all the folks that sign up today, we'll pick 10 of those randomly, and we'll give you a weight on bit indicator. Thanks for your time, everybody. Much appreciated.
Grant, thank you so much. Can I sign up and get one of those weight on bit indicators? Because I would love to have one of those.
We can get you one.
All right. Excellent. Awesome presentation. Y'all be sure to go up there and check out their website and all their social media links there. Grant, have a wonderful day, sir. All right. Next up, we've got one more company, and then we'll be having our operator panel. And next up, we've got Leonardo Correa with NOV. Leonardo, take it away, sir.
All right. Thanks, David. Hello, everyone, and thanks for having me here today. I'm Leonardo Correa, and I am the MPD Product Line Manager here with NOV. Today, we're going to talk about our solutions for both the service business market and also for the true rig integration, which we can do like no one else given our install base. So first, as you all know, NOV is well recognized by its quality of its equipment and control systems that we provide to the industry for the past 150 years. And all that quality and reputation, it's no different with MPD. So starting with our offerings for the service business market. we do have the right solutions for each type of application. So from single to dual choke control systems, all that's filled with multiple advanced features, and then including our real-time hydraulics model data feed. So we, with NOV, we recognize the size and the importance of the service business market, and we are fully committed to deliver the best for each one of our applications. So now moving forward to MPD systems that are actually truly integrated in the rig. And when I mean by truly integrated, we can offer everything for a permanent install MPD system and the rig, offering much more than only just pipe integration. We can actually deliver, as we have already done, have built and delivered systems that are fully integrated with both cyber-based, Untitled type of control systems, and with Nobles, that is NOV's proprietary process automation platform. Talking about Nobles, we do have apps that are already built to take the best of each one of our products inside of the process automation inside Nobles. Also, here behind me, you see one of our full-scale training simulators. On this one, you believe me, we have our complete MPD system built in. It is a mimic of one of the systems that we're delivering right now to be operating in the North Sea on a jackup. In this case, it's a cyber-based system, but also integrated with Nobles. So, can you imagine a system that the driller can oversee the entire MPD operation and also actively participate on that? So there is no spread information, multiple screens, or the communication. It's not with a lot of talk there on the rig floor. So here we go. What you see here is the exact mimic of the side data that I said, and then you see no additional screens for the driller. The data is being displayed where it needs to be on his screens, the same way that he's already used to deal with the normal cyber-based or or even Nobles type of system. So all set points are displayed as they show. All the actual values are displayed in the same way. The way of training is just the same as they are used to. And again, all the data is displayed not only for the driller, but also for the AD, for the rig, MPD supervisor, for the tool pusher. So finally, the MPD system is available on each one of the stations on the drilling rig. And then it actually is a system that is an addition, like mud pump, or top drive, or draw works, or any other that will be provided. So that level of integration allows us to offer proactive controls in between the equipment. So mud pump, top drive, draw works, and the MPD chokes, all that they work in synchrony. So they all talk in the background and always knows the next step that is going to be taken before one event happens. So again, by being able to control everything, the system is proactive enough to understand what's going on next, and then being taken the changes beforehand. So just on an example, when you deal with mud pumps, we have the right ways of adjusting the required speeds and accelerations for the mud pump while we're going inside of a connection. We're bringing the mud pumps down, flow rate down, and also outside when we bring the flow rate up. So all that, how we manage the speeds and acceleration of the mud pump is on the best way for the choke to operate and build the right pressures that need in the well. And also, all that is done by a push of a button. So there is no more that excessive communication on the rig floor when someone asks the driller to go slowly or faster to wait for the choke to catch up. So that doesn't happen anymore. The driller just only push a button, start connection, and that's it. Let the machines talk with each other. Also, and also importantly, as we have built our system inside Cyberbase, we are able to also, for the driller can select one of the rig pumps to act as a back pressure pump, and then so the system knows when I have full flow rate. Just make sure that I am in the right position. Okay, so when you have full flow rate on the drill string, the back pressure pump is already going to reduce its flow to minimize surface friction losses. And then when you had the flow back in the drill string, the back pressure pump is just gonna increase the flow rate to have the choke so that it's optimal position to control pressure. This is very valuable for jackup operations or for drill ships, for example, that have all the lines built in the past, and then they suffer today with high friction losses. So the ability of controlling the mud pumps and the MPD chokes is a lot valuable for that. Not only with mud pumps, but also top drive and drawworks. So we control the accelerations and speeds of the drawworks for optimized tripping operations, and also while we go in and out of the lift to avoid that spike in the end of the extend. So that thing can cause like a disadvantage losses at that point, or just or have a kick. So all that deep integration provide much lower operational costs for the operation, and also much improved safety and reduced personnel on board, given the overall workload is reduced as the machines they talk with each other. So let the machines talk with themselves and do the heavy lifting. So then the people now, they can just be elevated as process managers, and with that, you can really minimize your OPEX. So automation is and has always been a must here with NOV. And with MPD, it's no different. We are always chasing that high level of automation. So we also offer a powerful hydraulics model that NOV is being developed for the past 10 years. And on that hydraulics model, we also there are several models inside of that software that includes like a very detailed torque and drag model, solids transport, a dynamic thermal model, like string elongation, and much more. So all these hydraulics model, or this software, is built in not only for MPD, for the MPD applications, but also in training simulators, or also on the soft speed, that is the stickiness mitigator, on the stickiness mitigator, and also, for example, on active heat compensation. So again, we provide everything for the rig in terms of MPD. We offer, regardless if it's on land or offshore deep water or offshore shelf, we provide everything that is needed. From manifolds, it then can be like a buffer manifold, junk catchers, choke manifolds. By the way, we have 3 sizes of chokes: a 3-inch, 4-inch, and a 6-inch chokes, and also Coriolis meters. In terms of control systems, as I said, we offer everything that is integrated, can be integrated with Cyberbase or Ampion or Novus, and standalone packages specifically for the service business market. We do offer RCDs. Yes, we do offer RCDs for now. And from now, and then just gonna be very happy to share much more information for you when you request this. I'm just gonna paste my email in the end. So also, we provide everything. We have a big body now with a team of engineers that are very high skilled and trained to offer everything for planning operations with MPD, processes and procedures to support any type of simulations and support that you need, either if it's for land or offshore. So NOV is fully committed to guide the customer throughout the MPD learning curve. So then this includes everything for the best utilization of our systems, or the system that you have there in the rig, and also for the best utilization of the technology of MPD itself. So MPD, it's not only for drilling, it can be used for multiple applications like stripping, cementing, running casing, wireline, and so on. So we do have the right personnel that will guide you throughout that learning curve so you can get the best of utilization of the system. And we also are able to provide appropriate training. So you see here behind me, we have a couple of facilities that are full-scale training simulators. So the rig crew can come here, train not only with MPD, but they can train with an exact mimic of their rig or the controls for Cyberbase, or they can train when they come here for a new crew for a Cyberbase training, for example. They can also get trained on MPD, as it's just one unique system. We provide personnel for both onshore support or either like offshore or on location. So our global footprint, like NOV's global footprint, allows us to support operations anywhere in the globe they are. So regardless if you have operations in Asia or South America, US, Europe, Africa, so we have the global footprint that's going to support you anywhere you are. Also, we do have proper testing facilities. So this is a very important subject that every system that is going to ship out of NOV, it goes from the proper QA procedures, has a proper testing documentation, and so on. And for that, NOV has our own test rig. There, our systems goes for our test rig to have to be validated. Also, we have flow loops that we use those also to QC the system, and simulator for multiple applications, including hardware in the loop type of testing, and integration with other NOV systems, and without other NOV systems as well, and of course our standalone type of testing. So with that, you can be sure that you have quality here in what we offer. So MPD is a priority for NOV, and we are now developing faster. So for anything that you need to know, just please do not hesitate to contact me directly. You can contact me over LinkedIn here, or I'll paste my email, as I said, on the chat. So you can contact me directly. I'll be more than happy to oversee, to actually see what's your challenge and direct for the best product and guide you on the solution for the technical challenge that you have. So again, thank you very much for the time today. Looking forward to hear from you. And yeah, thank you, David.
Leonardo, thank you for your time. We do appreciate it. You guys, be sure to check out NOV's website and any of their social media links there. All right, next up, we are going to have the operator panel. So I'm going to go ahead and get our operator guys pulled into here. All right, so we've got Chris Scarborough from BP, Michael Franco Goodrich, and Sebastian Damons from Vine. Guys, thank you guys so much for being here. I clicked the completely wrong button, and I thought I was going to do this right, but I didn't. But there we go. All right, we got the little frame, everything on there. All right, I also need to do this because not everybody knows who everybody is on the screen, so let's display some names. There we go. All right. Take a breath. All right, we'll go around the room, and we'll start with Chris. Then we'll go to Michael, and then Sebastian pulled us back in at the end. Why don't you guys just introduce who you are and how you are involved in MPD?
How is everybody today? My name is Chris Scarborough. I'm an internal central resource for BP for well control and managed pressure drilling.
Excellent. Thank you. Michael, you're still on mute there. Hold on. Can I unmute you, or does it have to be?
Sorry about that. I work for Goodrich Petroleum. I'm a senior drilling engineer, and I pretty much write all the programs and drilling programs and work with the rigs in the field, using with all the drilling operations. So we use MPD for about the last 8 months, and it's been very successful for us.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. And Sebastian.
Yep, I'm Sebastian Demetz. I'm the drilling manager at Vine Energy. Basically just looking after everything with our drilling program. We work in North Louisiana, similar to Michael, it sounds like. And I've used MPD over about the last 15 years of my career, pretty much both offshore, onshore, basically every type of application that you can use it. I've had some exposure to.
Excellent. Well, guys, thank you all for being here and taking part of this event. For everybody that is out there watching, right, if you have a question for one of these individuals or for the panel as a whole, please be sure to throw it out there. This is definitely the part where we want this to be as interactive as possible. So we want to be able to hear from your questions. I know a lot of questions have already come up in the comment section, but I'm going to go ahead and start it off. What are some of the biggest issues you and your teams face when it comes to MPD? Sebastian, go ahead and start us off.
I mean, I think number one, and this would really be the answer for any type of service company, or if you're talking about drilling contractors, is competency of personnel. I think MPD's probably a little bit different position than a lot of service companies over the last few years. because MPD's actually grown quite a bit. It's been getting introduced to a lot of basins and plays where prior MPD wasn't utilized. And I think with the operating environment that we've been in for going on 5 years now, people have had to find, technical solutions to improve their well cost and returns. So I think with MPD, it's a little bit different reason, but competency of personnel is certainly critical. You kind of got to watch to make sure you don't have a revolving door of guys coming in, and you got to make sure that the company that they're working for properly trains them before they have them out there on their own. That'd probably be my biggest issue.
Well, I think we could all attest to having competent people out at the rig site, or even involved anywhere in the supply chain, is definitely going to make a huge difference. Michael, what about for you?
Well, I've always felt like if we could use an MPD, that it would help increase our drilling times in these horizontals, especially in the Haynesville, because I like to drill. I've found with a lighter mud weight that the gas that you get, the background gas, a lot of times will really help clear the cuttings away from the bit a lot faster, and it seems to really help us with our penetration rate. The problem with that is a lot of times your formation pressure kind of starts pinching your bit, and so you don't really get, that it's hard to slide, and when you're using the directional thing. So when we started using the MPD, it really helped with us, because we can just put the pressure that we want on the well without bringing the mud weight up while we're sliding. Let's say, we can bring the mud weight up to a 15.4 if we want while we're sliding through the curve. Then when we land the curve, we can drill when we need to with as much pressure as we want do the slide, and then we can rotate and back it off and let the background gas help us. And we've had tremendous success with it. And we also use it in an intermediate section, because we deal with, I guess some of you guys, I'm not sure, Sebastian, Chris, you guys run into this over kind of like to the eastern border of Texas and Louisiana, in that area where they come together. There's a bunch of saltwater injection that is really lunge. Sometimes you'll be drilling down there and you'll hit, easily drill through that Rodessa with like a 10.2 mud weight. And we've had to weight up to like 14 and a half pounds. What you can do when you're going through that, so, a lot of times that starts happening. So you start bringing your mud weight up continuously. When you do that, your mud's getting contaminated. You have to dump and dilute, and it takes forever, and you can't keep drilling because, you got to try to get it under control. So with the MPD, we just bring it up until we, where it's your chlorides aren't increasing as you're drilling. Then you got it there, and then you can start bringing up your mud weight point at a time, 2 points at a time. Take it from 10.2 to 10.4. Once it gets around there, all 10.2, then you can drop off the, whatever pressure you're holding, 100 pounds or whatever, off of what you've been holding, and bring it up until you get to the mud weight that you need. And when it's static, so you don't end up dumping all that mud, you don't end up having it contaminated, you don't have it getting out of control and everything. So we do that in the production hole too. When we get to the end of the well, a lot of times we'll TD now the end of the well. Sometimes usually around 15.2, which up there we usually have to have 15.5, 15.6. And so we're drilling a lot faster. I don't know if I mentioned it a second ago, but we drilled our last 5,000 foot lateral on 14 and a quarter days. We see that was from spud to TD. And so it's really helping us. You can start like 400 or 500 feet before you TD and start bringing your mud weight up gradually from 15.2 to 15.5, 15.6, or whatever you think you need at the end, and watch it. But it's like 60 pounds PSI at that TVD for every point. So let's say I'm wanting to go from 15.1 to a 15.5. So I just put 250 pounds, hold it, and I'll go from 15.1 to 15.2. When I get 15.2, I'll start having back off 60 pounds of pressure till they get 15.2 in and out. Then do the same thing, 15.3, 15.4, 15.5. And when you get there, then you just look and see if you got any kind of flow. If you don't have any flow, you haven't lost any mud, you're ready to pull out the hole. You didn't stop and wait up at the end, and you've had a lot of.
Oh, did Michael freeze?
I believe so.
All right. Well, Michael, we'll pause you there for just a second. When you come back, we'll get it going again. All right. Chris, any response to either Sebastian or Michael's comments, and then back to the original question, what are some of the challenges that you're facing currently with MPD?
So I believe I agree with both of them, and the things they said. I see where both of their responses tie together. When we start talking about competency, it's more than just the rig crew, and we're running these systems out in deep water. We're running them on land. We are using a rental model in some case. Other cases, we have drilling contractors that own the system and are licensing the software. We're running the fully automated in some cases. And so it's really the rig crew understanding the automation, how that system is programmed, not just for normal operations, but contingencies, failures. What's the system going to do? How do I need to respond to it? As well as you step back and you say, okay, now we have drilling engineers planning these wells. They've got to understand how the system works, how the technology works for writing a drilling plan, as well as all the other central folks like myself and cementing and fluids. They have to have that same understanding. So competency, to me, it's all encompassing. It is rig team, it's operation support, it's engineering. And so making sure that everyone understands what our objective is really helps us apply it in the field.
So with that, we've had a question here came in and said, oh, wow, when I do that, it just messes everything up. Okay, question for the panel. Is MPD becoming more of the norm now? Do we need to justify when not to use some form of closed loop drilling? Excellent question from our next presenter, Scott Petrie.
So this open to answer.
Go for it, Chris.
Back in 2015, when we within BP stood up an MPD team, that was one of the questions being asked is, engineering teams that aren't using it, why not? Why do you not need to use it? And I'm not going to say that lived. No one's having to justify when they're drilling a well conventionally, but I think it is becoming more the norm. During this last 5 to 6 years where we have been in a down cycle, the number of deep water rigs outfit with an MPD system has skyrocketed. And if we just look specifically at GOM, that number has jumped more than tenfold. It's amazing that through a downturn, this technology continues to grow. And I think it is because of the value that it provides and all the benefits we get from it.
Michael, what about you? I know that you when we talked on the phone the other day, I was getting really excited to ask you a whole bunch of questions. So now it's finally kind of the time. Do you guys see yourself going, I don't want to say the word backwards, but changing direction to where instead of using MPD with some of your wells, are to maybe just going back to what you were doing before, or maybe even in a completely different direction?
Well, for where we're drilling now, and I think we'll continue to use it because in the Haynesville, we're having great success and it's done everything that we thought it would do and more. One of the things that we're really blessed with is that the MPD system that we use is it's non-operator. There's no service hands out there. We don't have the vessel tanks or anything. It's just a choke that we're able to adjust and set it and make it. If you want to on your connections, you can have it, be programmed to go from 300 down to 0 as you're shutting your pumps off. So for us, it's been, and so we don't have the high cost of the vessels that are out there that you normally have on a system. All we do is that we have it's basically an adjustable choke that you can run just like you're circulating out a kick. It's I don't know if you want me to mention the company's Frontiers we're using, and it's worked amazing for us. So see us going backwards now. If we go back to drill maybe in Eagleford or something like that, we probably wouldn't need it. I would think if we end up going back into TMS, I would say we probably would use it in the TMS. I could see how it could help that place where we drill, because that's a very difficult field to drill. Goodrich isn't that spread out. That they're pretty much. I've been working in the Haynesville, the Eagleford, since I've been with these guys since 2006 or something. But I think for us, but I can see where you guys, and Sebastian, you made a great point. I really appreciated that too. Both of y'all have made some good points for me, because one of the things that our guys are the ones that are running it. And I'm really confident with the hands that we've had. We've lost a couple good ones here lately because Goodrich shut down again. But they're the ones that are watching it, training it, pushing the buttons. They're training the drillers how to run it, and the guys at the Frontier come out and work with these guys constantly. So it's really helped to have a very quality safe control over it. Whereas I can see what you're saying, Sebastian. If you had a lot more, and using, you have to really be concerned about the people that are out there running it. But so our guys are very good. We're these guys have worked with me for years, and they're really good at well control and kicks. But we only got one rig one, and that makes a big difference too. You guys got a lot more going on than us. So that's what I think. We'll continue to use it if we drill in the Haynesville.
Sebastian?
I mean, as far as using it, yeah, I mean, we implemented it about 3 years ago or so. We've been doing it continuously since then. It's probably been, I think most operators in the Haynesville, because that's where I'm working, would probably say it's probably been the biggest game changer from a performance standpoint, right? I mean, traditionally in the Haynesville, you got lots of wellbore stability issues, ballooning, dealing with gas all the time. You had to back ream out of the hole in the laterals. You had to tough reaming all the way back to bottom. Was not uncommon. If you're doing a trip from 20,000 foot, it would take 4 days. That's every operator, pretty common. I can speak, for us now, 20,000 foot, I expect from the time we stop drilling until we're back drilling, 24 to 30 hours. If it's more than 30 hours, we're usually trying to figure out, okay, where do we lose time? Something different here. So yeah, MPD's been, in the Haynesville, it's a little bit different than most unconventional resource plays, right? It's high pressure, high temperature. You got some different stuff going on geomechanically in it. It's really a no-brainer from an MPD standpoint. But like touching on Scott Petrie's question, do you have to justify why you're not using MPD? I'd probably take the counter to that. I think sorry, my light went off. But I think you'd be doing a disservice if you haven't looked at using it in your application. But I think that's one of the more interesting things with MPD going forward on U.S. land, because it's obviously we're heavily focused on unconventional resource plays. All of them are different, right? Haynesville, Eagleford, Permian, Marcellus. So I think there's very niche roles for MPD to play for different reasons in all the different basins. So I think both from an operator perspective and a service company perspective, people really have to understand when you're going in to talk to a customer, if you're with a service company, how are you going to utilize your technology to help them in their specific area that they're at? Because it might be a very different reason than why we're using it in the Haynesville.
Excellent. Well, I've got a couple more questions, and I don't want to run out of time and not get these in. So I want to be able to ask you guys now. What do you see as the future of MPD, and what products or services or technology would you guys like to be able to see developed in the future? Chris?
So within MPD, there are so many tools available in this toolkit to use. And, from a deep water perspective, the riser joints, we heard talk about, more reliable RCDs, those are the big items that we spend critical time making changes in, right? So we have to pull a bearing because it's worn out. Being able to understand and estimate a full runtime and hit those numbers 90% of the time, that's gold. That really helps us with planning. And there's a lot of factors into how fast or how long will a RCD run, how long will the elastomeric elements last. And so right now it's a case where every time we make a run in the hole, we're going to change them because we don't want to take a risk. But there is some benefit there in the future if we can get more reliable run times and really lay that out. Going forward, the control systems are getting better, more advanced every day. This is always a good thing from a process safety standpoint, but the big piece is we need to understand how it's working, how it fails, and make sure that we've protected ourselves and have a plan in place to address, the failures that could have a well control event involved. So especially when using a mud weight that's under pore pressure, If there's something that could happen in the system when it loses data, or someone cuts a cable accidentally, how is the system going to respond, and what do we need to do as a rig team to make the well safe?
Excellent. Sebastian, you want to take it next?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing we kind of have to address, and I think it's going to be two answers, and it's been touched on here, right? Martin with Pruitt, he kind of gave his viewpoint about he likes to have men on the rig. Michael here with Goodrich just said, they're using a manless system. I think this is the all-encompassing argument, right? My perspective, if I look at what a driller already has to do on a drilling rig, they're putting so much on that guy's shoulders, right? Not only has he got 4 computer screens in front of him, he's got to keep the reporting, he's got to manage the crew and kind of tell them what to do. You've got, certain rig contractors, he's running the Iron Roughneck, he might even be running the Pipe Cat, and now we're asking them to do something else. I mean, you're putting so much on these drillers, I feel like, with some of this that, they're going to end up making LeBron James type of money or something, because they're going to be doing everything on the rig. And I feel like, it's such an important aspect of what you're doing in a lot of areas that I take the stance with wanting men on the rig as well. But obviously that's dependent on, the operator and what their application is, and certainly where you're operating at. But I think that's a big argument, right? Just getting emails, having meetings with the various MPD companies, right? They all kind of take different stances, and they're all right in their own way. And so I think that's a big thing for operators going forward. It's something to think about, right? Is what are you putting on that driller on the rig floor if you have a manless system? Because there's a lot that goes into that, and that's a lot on that guy's shoulders, because he's already taken a lot of responsibility for the well.
All right, Michael, and you?
Yeah, I can see what Sebastian's saying, and I think too for us it's kind of a thing where we're really we're small. I mean, Vaughn, you guys got a lot more rigs and of course BP, but so we got same consultants. The consultants are basically the ones who are working with the drillers, but they're running it, and we discuss it all the time. I'm always on it, looking at the rig with them. But I think for us in the future, going forward with it, it's not working the way that it should, and we don't have that happen too often, but it's pretty easy. For us, all we do is program the pressures that we want to run. I mean, it's just like putting your pump rate on to what how many strokes a minute you want for the drillers, and for that's the way it is for us. And I can see how, especially if you have a lot more different people working a larger operation, we just have the same guys and all, but for the most part, it's working. I can't see anything that I would say that's not working good for us. We're not using the big vessels and things like that, so it's easier for these guys. The other thing is on the ballooning, it's just saved us tons and tons of money on the ballooning. Sometimes with the ballooning, you lose a lot of mud, you end up breaking down, and guys are really scared to come out of the hole, and you got to be really careful with that. And that's a big thing, because you can't just assume your balloon all the time, because you could be taking a kick, because we all know that we have, with the fracking going on, sometimes you can have cross communication from your laterals on that are on either side of you. So in that, I could see that that there may be some things to help to determine the ballooning effects a little bit better. But for the most part, we keep a watch on it and everything. But it's amazing how much money that we have saved not losing returns because of the ballooning and breaking down a formation and stuff.
Well, one last question for you guys. I want to be able to see this. If you have one message for the MPD community, because we've obviously got a lot of people in the MPD community that are watching now and that are going to continue watching this video in the near future, what would that message be, and what would you like to be able to get out there to, essentially, a rising tide lifts all ships, to be able to lift all of us up, and this to be not just a more widespread technology, but a better understood, a safer and better practices. Sebastian?
for me, it's education, right? And this applies both for, you know, someone on my side of the table and on the service company side. You think about U.S. land. I mean, even though the rig count's still down, but that's still a lot of rigs. That's still a lot of guys working on the rigs. And a lot of guys working U.S. land historically haven't done a lot of MPD. And now it's kind of becoming, you know, I won't say flavor of the week because I think it's here to stay, but it's a new technology that's kind of taken over, and it kind of takes a different mindset to understand it. And if you're working offshore, you know, you do a lot of planning. You have, you know, daily meetings, coordination meetings on the rigs. You do DWOPs. You do a lot more stuff than the typical land operator, where you're kind of in factory mode and you're blowing and going, and, you know, especially if you got, you know, multiple rigs running. So I think from an MPD service side, it's really about education and educating the operators, right? You want to go sell something to them, well, educate them on it, right? The best way you can sell it, in my opinion, is you educate them. You don't just go in and give them the sales pitch. So for me, education.
Thank you, sir. Michael?
Yeah, I think it's a great tool, and I agree with Sebastian that you need to be educated on how to use it. Have the companies come out, work with the hands, get everybody. We have operators out there, of course, they're going to be running and all, but still get everybody involved so they'll have better communication and good communication to keep everything safe. But overall, I think MPD and you know, the play that we're in, because my experience with it is limited because that's all we're drilling, has been a game changer for us. So, and it's been very safe and good, and so I highly recommend it. But I agree with Sebastian. One of the reasons I think we have so much success is that we've had them come out to train the rig hands, work with our guys. They're out there constantly, and the guys are educated. They understand how it works really good, because that's something that can really, it can be very dangerous if you don't know how to use it.
Thank you, Michael. And Chris, we'll let you bring it home for the panel today.
Well, I think one of the big things I've personally seen is these systems are so beneficial, so accurate. They're always giving you good information. They're helping you drill a well. It's very easy to bias towards the system. And we all need to have a healthy amount of suspicion, you know, and not just trust the system, but confirm the system is actually doing the right things at the right time. And it's just a continual monitoring. The more automated, the more things the system does, the easier it is to go into a autopilot mindset and say it's doing the right thing because it has the last 100,000 times. We still need to watch it as closely on that 101,000th time as we did when we didn't trust it and it was, you know, first use in the field. Because it is very easy to trust the system and just fall in love with it.
Well, thank you to each one of you so much for taking part in this event. Like I said at the Rotary Steerable event, getting operators onto the panels is one of the most difficult things. So huge thanks to Sebastian and Michael, who I emailed just the other day and agreed to be able to come on here. I cannot thank the two of you enough. And then with Chris has been an absolute saint in helping to be able to guide me in directions to be able to make sure that this event is beneficial and valuable to all of y'all out there. So Chris, from the bottom of my heart, I thank you so much for having taken part in this event, and hopefully all three of you get to see some value in this from the event as a whole. So once again, thank you guys so much. So everybody that's watching, be sure to thank these guys, and we'll be moving on to our next presentation. So all right, here we go, guys.
Thank you all.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. All right. And I'm going to do something real quick because I totally forgot to do it earlier. Let's do a giveaway. Hashtag Gibson. Where is it at? Type hashtag Gibson into the comment section, and we're going to give away a drill bit. I don't have one on my desk, but that's okay. Hashtag Gibson in the comment section, and we'll start collecting entries for the comments. So hashtag Gibson in the comment section right now, guys. Look, get yourself a drill bit. That's all you got to do. Hashtag Gibson. Put that in the comment section. As soon as we do that, then we'll be on to our next presenter. Give him a little bit more, make him a little bit more, rack his nerves a little bit more than what we should normally do. All right. The comments are starting to roll in. And just remember, you only have to do it once. unless you want to do it on LinkedIn and YouTube and Facebook. Then you can get 3 in. Otherwise, just do it one time. Don't have to put it in 1,000 times, even though it does rack up the viewership numbers. But that's not what we're after right now. All right. So let's see here. We've already got 45. I mean, should we wait till we break 100? I mean, we're on our way. It's moving pretty quick. All right, guys. Thank you guys all so much for taking part into this. So everybody's doing it. All right, good. Let's go. Mark Anderson, Paul Moore, one of the guys over at Vibration Technologies. Thanks for being here, Paul. Appreciate that. Oh, look, John Weatherly, Travis Hall. I mean, wow. So many people that are still out there watching. Do appreciate you guys for being here. All right, we're up to 72 so far. We can do it. Keep going. Hashtag Gibson. Boom, 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 boom. And then we'll hit the proverbial drawing button. And Scott Petrie's behind the scenes with Adrilltech. He's the next up to be able to present, making him even more nervous. Because he's like, oh, when do I go live? When do I go live? Just a minute. All right, and so now I'm making us run late because I'm trying to do fun stuff. We're up to 80, 85. Come on, you guys can do this. If you guys are enjoying this event so far, please leave me a comment. Let me know. Shoot me a DM directly afterwards. Call me, whatever. Shoot me a text. I appreciate everybody's support in this event. It's been absolutely phenomenal to have over almost 12,000 people signed up for this event. I know not all 12,000 are watching right now, but there's probably a good chance everybody's going to go back and watch it once they have time. I know we're all busy in this industry, but great. So, all right, we've got 100. All right, let's pull it up to the screen. Add to stream. All right. If you haven't done it yet, it's essentially too late. Maybe we'll do another one at the end. Maybe, maybe not. All right, let's do a drawing. And boom. Let's see here. I need to get the little drum roll audio cue thing. And we're going to ship this one anywhere in the world. Doesn't matter who it is. Nathan Vargas. Nathan Vargas, you are the winner. Send me a DM, sir, with your address, and we'll get you everything ready to go for you. All right, cool. Thanks, guys. All right. Next up to be able to present, this is our lightning round of pitches. We have got the amazing Scott Pruitt with Adrilltech. Scott, take it away, sir.
Thanks, David. Hi, everybody. My name's Scott Petrie. I'm the Technical Services Manager with Adrilltech. We've been using continuous circulation systems for about the last 10 years to help with managed pressure drilling and really just to help to continuously circulate, manage the bottom of the well as we're going throughout drilling the well section. So the continuous circulations, if you just hold that for just a second. There you go, good lad. So continuous circulation systems are pretty much, that. Yeah, it's all right, you're all right. Continuous circulation systems been around for a while, and they really are they're sub-based. Usually we install some subs into the drill string. We then have a manifold on the rig that we're able to divert flow from the standpipe into the side of the string with the subs that are installed. We typically have a couple of people on the rig there to help operate the system. And the primary function of doing any continuous circulation is to maintain ECD. And really, with MPD in particular, it means that we understand exactly when we're circulating over the connection, rather than trapping pressure, we're circulating down the string, out the bit, back up the entire well section and out over the shakers, which means that we don't have to guess what the frictional pressure losses are. We know what they are. We've been drilling with them. They'll be very similar, except we only have to take into account for lack of rotation and RPM when we stop. And when we're doing this with MPD, we can have a much tighter control on the window between the formation pressure and the pore pressure, the fracture pressure and the pore pressure, and it means that we're able to, again, control that down to a much lower tolerance, and that's our experience. So David, if I can ask you to start the video, what I'd like to do today is to take you through the next paradigm in continuous circulation, which is an automated system. So the automated systems are designed to take people away from the rig floor, allowing the driller to make up the connection while continuously circulating. They're easily installed offline, and they're able to have, they're essentially made up of two components, the clamp and the delivery system. So once in position, the clamp will attach to the sub or the drill pipe, make sure that we have a positive connection to the drill pipe. We then have some sensors that approach the string, connect onto the sub, and they allow the clamp to align itself vertically. There's a set of hydraulic rams that will lift the clamp up, And now the whole assembly is aligned vertically. Once we're aligned vertically, we have a second sensor that can then approach the string, and that will again come in contact with the sub and allow us to then rotate the clamp to align the whole assembly radially. This means that the driller doesn't have to spend any time messing around trying to get the drill string lined up to any circulation system. The thing automatically takes care of itself. Once we're attached and aligned, we then have an upper clamp that makes sure that the whole thing is stable throughout the entire process. And our gripper vise will then approach the valve and it will disconnect the protective cap. And that protective cap is there for two reasons. It stops any debris from going into the valve. And the valve behind there is a flapper valve, which is able to withstand about 10,000 psi working pressure. Once the protective cap is out of the way, then we have a nozzle that will attach the drill string in through the connection valve, and that allows us to circulate into the side of the string. We're now attached to the string. We're able to start diverting flow with our automatic manifold, and we can flow into the side. We can automatically operate the ball valve, isolating the top drive, allowing us to disconnect, pick up the next stand, which already has another sub installed on it. That's then made up to the stump with the iron roughneck, and then we can open the ball valve and re-establish flow down the string. The side entry flapper valve will close automatically, sealing off from internal well pressure. It's then just about going about the process of reversing the original process of attaching the nozzle. We'll disconnect the nozzle and refit the protective cap to make sure that then, once we go below the rotary table, we have two mechanical barriers between the outside and the inside of the string. This type of design has been around for around about 10 years, was well tested, and is used by several different companies for continuously circulating. Once the cap's reinstalled, we can then remove the upper clamp, release that from the drill pipe. The clamp will swivel back round to go back to its initial resting position radially, and then it will go through and push itself back down horizontally to its starting position, disconnect the lower clamp, and the whole assembly can be removed from the string. And we can immediately then pick up off bottom, out the slips, and go back to bottom, and we've been circulating the entire time. And that's our process. If you have any questions about any of the systems that you've seen today, you can visit our website at adrilltech.com, or you can email me. I'm sure my email will be in the comments here. Thanks very much.
Well, Scott, thank you so much for taking part. I do appreciate it. You'll have it already. Go check out their website after the event. Not yet, unless you open a new tab. All right. Next up, we have got the guys, Richard Tang over at Zadok Technologies. Richard, take it away, sir.
Thanks, David. Hi, everyone. I'm Richard Tang, as David said, and I'm here to tell you about our company, Zadok Technologies, and our role in the installation of managed pressure drilling systems. While everyone else on the show today either has some physical hardware or interesting technology to showcase, this was a bit of a challenge for us since we don't provide either hardware or technology. What we do provide is our experience in E&I for the integration and installation process for both new builds and retrofits. Zadok has installed multiple MPD systems all over the world, including many locations in the Gulf, as well as in Brazil, Las Palmas, and other places. We've worked with various MPD system providers, Weatherford, Safepick, and others, and we've installed these on multiple users for Seadrill, Rowan, Transocean, Maersk. All in all, we have about 30,000 man-hours of MPD installation experience. So what we thought would be interesting was to share some of the experiences and lessons learned coming out of this installation that we thought would be good to share with you. So with that, I'd like to turn you over to my colleague, Charles Schmelzer.
Thank you, Richard. As we all know, planning and preparation are key elements to the success of any project, especially in a retrofit application. What we found is by coordinating with the operations team and the OEM in the early stages of planning, significantly reduces snags and last-minute changes. Typically, a thorough survey is the first step in finding potential conflicts with the new system integration and current operations. While a survey is the most common method used, we also recommend incorporating virtual imagery technology, such as what our partners at R2S provide. I'll show you that right here. When installing a new MPD system onto an existing asset, there may be a need to revisit after the initial survey. Because MPDs consist of several modules and components, there may be modifications or measurements that need to be retaken. By capturing the as-is state of the asset, R2S's technology allows you to do real image virtual walkthrough, so you can address any concerns. Your system engineers and integration technicians can look for the most efficient route, look for potential interferences such as lifting operations, and optimize deck space. As you can see, our offshore experience, we know to look out for those issues and others. So if I take a look at this drill floor here, maybe the upper deck, or, oh, you know what? Let me close this out first. That'll help. So some other things we look at for is mass cable transit installation, proper cable entry solutions, whether it's using a junction box seal such as this one from Roxtech. It helps reduce the junction box footprint and ensures the correct cable gland. Right here would be good for hazardous area classification. I want to make sure that you're using the right one. And one of the other things we like to look out for is making sure that the power cable and the instrumentation cable, there's proper separation. And we look for time-saving solutions, such as using rope access technicians to secure the cables efficiently. That's all for me, Richard.
Thanks, Charles. So basically, when choosing your E&I contractor for your next installation, a couple of things we suggest that you think about and you ask. First of all, make sure that they have offshore experience and are familiar with BSEE or the other relevant regulatory requirements. Make sure they're familiar with the different MPD systems that are out there, have worked with the providers, and are also familiar with the various drill ship or asset designs and layouts. You want to take a hard look at their project planning expertise, and I think that's key. And their familiarity with visual modeling tools such as R2S that helps you walk through the system virtually before you actually get out there. And of course, their actual experience in installing MPD systems, because by doing so, you'll reduce your project risk and increase your chance of success. So in closing, I'd like to thank David for putting on this fantastic event and to thank some of our sponsors for today who helped us with the technology and some of the stuff that we have. All Business Network Specialists, Roxtech, excuse me, and R2S. And if you need further information on Zadok, you can get us at info@zadoktech.com. These are our phone numbers here. Thank you very much.
Richard, thank you guys so much for taking part. Excellent presentation. Love the big touchscreen monitor there. It's a great way to be able to go about doing things. All right, next up we have got, make sure I don't forget everything here. So much going on. These are lightning round pitches, so I've got to get everything going quick. All right, next up we've got Rudy Flores with Weatherford. Rudy, take it away, sir.
Hello, David. Thank you so much for having us here today. Listen, I just want to say that I really appreciate everything that you're not only doing with the show, but for the industry as well. I am extremely excited to be here today to virtually present one of Weatherford's core products. With a nearly 5-decade legacy, Weatherford is a known leader in MPD technology with the highest service quality. Real quick though, I want to touch base on our engineering support. Our people are by far our greatest asset, and we have built up a world-class engineering team. Our engineers are available 24/7 with the competency and expertise to assist in any challenge. Our engineering services are one piece of the complete solution that you receive when you choose Weatherford for your MPD operations. Weatherford Managed Pressure Drilling is committed to the North America MPD market and ready to work with you to increase your efficiency, reduce your safety risk, and lower your overall cost of ownership on your wells. Let's watch a little video to see where we're at and where we're going.
Today, I'd like to talk to you about managed pressure drilling and the Weatherford approach, particularly for land applications. But first, let's talk about objectives. Our customers are tasked with completing their wells in the most efficient and safe manner to maintain their cost constraints. Managed pressure drilling allows operators to reduce mud costs, reduce and even eliminate oil control events, reduce days on well, as well as eliminate casing strains. We make undrillable wells drillable. Weatherford is the world leader in managed pressure drilling technologies and engineering expertise and capabilities. We also maintain the MPD market leader title by listening to our customers and analyzing the market. Weatherford identified technology gaps and set new standards for the industry. We offer leading engineering services and project management on-site, in-house, and remotely throughout North America. This allows us to provide a scalable approach to meet specific client needs. We can start from our world-leading RCD to our compact, modular, electric actuated Pressure Pro set point choke system to our fully automated Victus system, but we have not stopped there.
Here at Weatherford, we always listen to the message of the client, and we do not slow down in the technology sector. By listening to our customers, we have developed a tiered approach to MPD, designated to address most challenges and desired outcomes. Based on this methodology, we are already developing our second generation set point system called the Pressure Pro Plus MPD system. This compact, purpose-built system has the ability to control multiple chokes, including integrated software for monitoring ECD in real time and remote monitoring through WITCH transmission. The Pressure Pro Plus MPD system can be installed in many configurations and is intended for onshore and offshore applications with reduced footprint and the ability to reduce personnel while providing the safest, fastest, and most efficient operation to our customers. The Weatherford Pressure Pro Plus set point choke manages pressure within circulating fluid systems to enhance drilling safety, reduce operational risks, reduce personnel exposure, and maintain precise pressure control for desired ECD management. It incorporates the use of electric motors to be fast and accurate, with built-in automated features to maintain constant bottom hole pressure while in MPD applications. When the modular system is configured with extended features, it allows for semi-automated early kick loss detection to reduce non-productive time associated with well control events.
Constant bottom hole pressure is the primary MPD technique used for land applications. The Weatherford Pressure Pro set point choke system incorporates automated features to maintain desired equivalent static and circulating densities. The perfect example of this is during connections. When friction is lost due to a reduction in flow rate, bottom hole pressure is also reduced. The Pressure Pro system automatically increases surface back pressure to maintain constant bottom hole pressure while pump rate is reduced and then stopped. Once the connection is made, pumps come back online, the system will automatically release pressure while downhole friction increases. The result is a constant downhole pressure to maintain desired drilling window to prevent kicks, losses, and in some cases, wellbore collapse. The Pressure Pro set point choke managed pressure drilling system has been used on over 350 wells since it was launched in 2017. It has helped save operators millions in mud costs, non-productive time, days on well, and most importantly, safety. While there are many other companies offering managed pressure drilling equipment and services, Weatherford has the most experience, engineering expertise, and capability to continuously offer successful MPD results while drilling, tripping, running casing, and cementing.
Well, thank you, Rudy, and the team over at Weatherford for that awesome presentation. They definitely have it down when it comes to being able to put together some awesome videos. All right, guys. Next up, we've got Beyond Energy Services. Bring them up here now. All right, you guys take it away.
Hello. Thank you for joining us this morning. And a special thank you to you, David, and Gibson Reports for providing this platform to speak about managed pressure drilling. My name is Eric Legg. I'm the Vice President of Operations at Beyond Energy Services and Technology. I'm speaking to you today from our API Q1 ISO 9001 duly certified RCD manufacturing and testing facility located in beautiful Red Deer, Alberta. This location is one of only 4 in North America permitted by API to monogram RCD products with Spec 16 RCD monogram. Now, Beyond Energy offers its customers a fully inclusive suite of innovative products and services designed to meet the dynamic requirements of drilling operations. We've assembled them into 4 tiers. Tier 1 is a standalone RCD. This is the initial component for MPD readiness and is perfect for operations requiring a diverter with minimal gas to surface. It also allows for a switch to MPD or RMD operations without removing the drill pipe from the hole. Now, both our Titan and Atlas Marine RCDs accommodate all Beyond bearing assemblies. So this allows our clients to change the bearing assemblies during operations without changing the RCD body. I also want to point out that all Beyond RCD products carry the API 16 RCD monogram seen here. The second tier, we classify returns management drilling. This system is intended for operations needing gas diversion with significant flow rates that require separation at surface. Now, this packaged offering comes with our Titan RCD, our best separator, hydraulically operated flare stack, gas flow meter, and EDR integration. Moving up from there, we get to Tier 3, our Mercury MPD package. This is an entry-level, low-cost MPD system that has minimal footprint, only requires 1 truckload to mobilize. The Mercury MPD system is fully automated, offers complete digital integration with the rig, and can be operated with no MPD personnel on site. The system arrives at location in a 9-foot by 9-foot Connex with all components connected and ready for operations, which greatly reduces the rigging time. And finally, our flagship system and our 4th tier is our Nitro MPD package. This is a fully loaded MPD system intended for truly challenging MPD applications. Nitro MPD incorporates advanced hydraulic models to control downhole ECD with pinpoint accuracy and is perfect for drilling narrow window wells. It allows for early event detection against kicks as well as losses, and it includes our patented nitrogen back pressure system. This feature ensures you retain dynamic control of your well even while you're in static well conditions, such as a connection or a power loss event at the rig. Now, in addition, Beyond Energy also offers industry-leading MPD engineering services. So Beyond provides MPD technical support and engineering via our experienced team of engineers. This team designs the MPD program, tripping schedules, rollover schedules, various other simulations via our proprietary hydraulics modeling software, Minerva Hydraulics. In addition, our engineers remotely monitor operation from Beyond's RTOC via our best control system software, which is loaded into every control system that Beyond deploys. Now, existing hydraulics modeling software requires a tremendous amount of post-processing when used in MPD applications. This is because it was not intended for MPD modeling. So Minerva Hydraulics was explicitly designed for MPD project planning and execution, and it far exceeds the usability and efficiency of existing software platforms. It's offered as a web-based application and allows the user to plan all your conventional or MPD applications. The outcome, well, users will spend less time on design tasks and see increased accuracy in the results. So Beyond offers equipment and engineering solutions for any MPD application. And at its core, Beyond Energy is a solution-driven company that fosters a culture of innovation to create new offerings that improve our customers' experience, reduce their operating costs, and most importantly, ensure safety at the rig site. Again, I want to thank Gibson Reports for providing this opportunity to allow viewers to explore the different offerings in the MPD world. And back to you, David.
What? Oh, there's my... All right, I'm going to apologize there. I completely screwed up the slides because for some reason that came up. No fault to anybody there at Beyond. That was 100% mine. The show is based on technical difficulties, and I apologize, guys, there. The slides just weren't timed right. Eric, thank you guys so much for your presentation. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you, David.
It was spot on. I wasn't. My fault. I'm going to be living with that one for a long time. All right, next up, we've got the team over at Opla Energy. Absolutely amazing team. Here we go. Right. Oh, and I've got the wrong button there. There we go. We can see Jessica. All right, y'all take it away.
Thanks, David. I'm Jessica Evangay, Manager of Business Development, and I have with me Sean Cody, our VP of Engineering. Today we're going to be talking about IoT and automation, along with Opla's strategy forward in the MPD market. First, a brief background on Opla. We were founded in 2019 with the mission to bring innovative and disruptive solutions to the MPD market.
We're a subsidiary of Citadel Drilling, and today have 8 patents filed surrounding our software, hardware, and processes, all of which have been built in-house by our team.
The Internet of Things, or IoT, has been a rapidly growing field in the past decade. IoT is a broad term that refers to anything that has embedded software or sensors that can be connected to the internet. Some more common everyday examples would be your thermostat or camera doorbell that can be accessed and controlled by your smartphone via the internet.
These same techniques can be applied to the drilling and MPD industry through secure cloud connections. Devices can be IoT enabled, monitored, or even controlled remotely. The main challenge of these devices is they often need a high level of automation built in to enable remote control. Without a high level of automation, built-in monitoring is still possible. However, devices with lower levels of automation would still require on-site personnel to operate.
At Opla, we've built our own cloud infrastructure. This enables us to pull and store all of our field data automatically. This allows for a number of benefits for our internal processes, as well as a number of value adds for our clients, including increased visibility as to how our field personnel and equipment is operating.
While a number of devices currently in the market have the ability to connect to the rig's EDR via WITS connection, there are some limitations that go along with this. For example, normally a hull that can be sent through a WITS connection is something that can be displayed on a line chart or a graph, as this is the typical setup for EDR platforms. With a cloud connection, there are a number of other benefits that can be realized. One of the main advantages being data that can be displayed in numerous forms. For example, our real-time MPD Live viewer has a mud viewer that displays drill string and annulus mud weights real-time along with bottom pressures.
Everyone has a different definition of automation. It's a word that's commonly used throughout this industry, but it has a wide variation of actual meanings. An example of this from another industry would be cruise control in cars. While all cars have cruise control, some just run on a set speed. Others have adaptive speed settings where it will automatically adjust your speed based on the traffic around you. These are both automated processes, but the level of automation is different. When we're speaking of automated MPD at Opla, we're talking about downhole pressure control, not surface pressure control. So there's no human intervention once the system is placed into auto mode. The chokes automatically adjust to the needed pressure based on other parameters from the well, such as flow rate, mud weights, and pipe movement, or surge and swab.
David has a video that he's going to play for us here that shows this process in action. So this video coming up is one of our fully automated manifolds performing a connection on a recent job. How our system works is the operator puts a target ECD or pressure at any point in the wellbore, and the chokes automatically react to those changing pressures, as Jessica mentioned. We've perfected a patented process that even allows our chokes to react to trap pressures during connections in auto mode. No human intervention, no ramp schedules for the driller or operator to follow, no added connection time, and no additional equipment on location, such as diverters or auxiliary pumps. We recently drilled a well in West Texas where we saw a 50% increase in ROP, no added connection time, drilling in auto mode from heel to the TD. The platform we recorded this video on is our MPD Live viewer. It shows the on-site operators operating chokes in auto mode, what pressures they're trying to hold, what depths, and how the chokes are responding. Some of this would be possible to send through the EDR. However, things like whether the operators are operating in auto or manual mode would be difficult to display. This viewer allows more visibility to the client as to how equipment is actually being operated in the field.
Our mission of MPD in the immediate future is unmanned, automated systems. Currently in the industry, these two things have not been synonymous. Low-end solutions can be unmanned as they are simple and typically have a low level of automation. An example of this would be a surface pressure set point system. David's going to put up a link here on the screen that y'all can visit for more details on some of our upcoming equipment.
Automated systems are typically more complex, but also offer higher level of service, including real-time downhole pressures, cloud connectivity, and all the benefits that entails. With automation and cloud infrastructure, we've built in what we built at Opla, there will soon be an automated unmanned system operating in North America. A tool that can easily be operated by the driller, rig integrated with no structural modifications, remotely supported or even remotely controlled via our TOC.
Thank you all.
Thank you guys so much for being here and taking part. Definitely, you guys can see the URL down there at the bottom, futureofmpd.com. The Opla team there in crew. Thank you guys so much. Absolutely amazing presentation. All right. I'm still just trying to breathe here. We'll leave that URL for just a second. Oh my gosh. I don't know why the lightning pitch rounds are what's getting me nervous. It's so much faster, so much more going on. All right. If y'all have some questions, be sure to start throwing them out. Let them know. People are not just going to be watching it now, also in the future, and the presenters and sponsors are going to be going back and looking through the questions and comments and helping you guys address all kinds of things. And please, if you see something interesting, you hear something interesting, reach out to these companies. All right, take that one off the screen. And then up next, we've got Martin with Kelda Dynamics. Martin, take it away, sir.
Hey, David, thanks. So there we go. Perfect. Okay. So, like I said, really happy to be here, and I'm excited to share some industry first news with you as well. So one of the many benefits that MPD delivers over conventional drilling is the ability to deal with small influxes safely and efficiently using the MPD equipment and not resorting to shutting in on the rig's BOPs. Current methods to quantify MPD safe influx volumes include some like this one here, a cloud-based IME tool. So tools like this allow you to enter wellbore geometry data, allow you to enter mud weights and depths in order to determine what those safe influx volumes and pressures are. Running through a tool like this allows planners to effectively determine upfront what they are going to see and what influx volumes they're going to allow to be circulated. What typically happens in the transition from the planning phase to the operations phase is that many people realize that as these influx management envelopes change with depth as you get deeper, change mud weights, you have to continually update the IMEs, and this becomes cumbersome and complex. And effectively, they revert to using the traditional MPD operating matrix with a simple or a single volume and pressure limitation for operational simplicity. Now, that's about to change, and I'm going to show you how by introducing you to the latest addition to LADAR, our real-time MPD software suite. Starting off, setting up LADAR is going to use LADAR Plan, where we plan the MPD well, set up the real-time hydraulics model, as well as the pressure controller, all from the same interface. So here I'm just going through some steps showing how we're optimizing the anchor point. We've optimized the mud weight and everything like that. And then we're going to be ready to go into the operations module and the controller. Once everything is done and the hydraulics model is set up, pressure controller is ready to go, we go to the controller panel. And this is where I would like to introduce to you the new addition to LADAR, and that is the real-time IME suite. So this is a real-time IME, which is continuously and automatically updated with all variables via the width stream, the real-time hydraulics model, the pressure controller, and the influx loss module, all going through simultaneously. And it uses the real gas equations of state. So no more having to constantly update or do these things on the fly for certain depths as you're going through. But that's not all. I'd like to show you the IME in action, and we're going to drill ahead with a well into an overpressured section and see the real-time IME in action. So here we've got LADAR RT with influx detection and suppression active. We've got the influx detection limit set to a barrel, and we're about to drill into an overpressured zone and take an influx. The first indication of the influx is shown there on the right. Flow out is increasing, and the influx loss module is actually starting to record a volumetric gain. As we haven't actually reached the influx detection threshold yet, nothing has actually happened. Once that threshold is reached, I'm just going to pause the simulation because there's going to be numerous things happening at once. And that's going to occur in just a couple of seconds here. So here you'll see the first thing that will happen once the detection threshold is reached is that the operator gets an alert that there is an anomaly. We've taken an influx, and then the next operation is going to take place, which is kick handling or automatic suppression. But what I want to draw your attention to is up in the top left is the yellow IME tab, which was gray before for normal drilling. But this indicator alerts the operator that the influx size and pressure currently are in the yellow zone. When we go over to the IME tab specifically, you will see that the influx size and pressure are tracked during the suppression phase. So while the choke is closing and the bottom hole pressure is increasing, the influx volume is slowing down until it's going to be stopped fully, no more inflow from the formation. And you will see that we result in the final surface back pressure to suppress that influx at about 400 PSI and just under 2 barrels. So heading back to the main screen for the next order of operation, we're going to apply a 50 PSI surface back pressure safety margin just to make sure that we are overbalanced and there's nothing further going on. Having a look at the IME screen, make sure we're still okay, well within the primary barrier limit. We're now at 450 PSI back pressure and only 2 barrels influx. And then we're ready for the next course of action. The operator can now decide what to do if they choose to actually initiate the standpipe pressure mode and circulate out the influx with MPD or do something different. And that is an industry first for the real-time IME as part of an MPD control system. And I turn it back to you, David.
Martin, thank you so much. Love being able to see things that have never been done before being broadcast out on, one of the conferences. So thank you guys so much for taking part. Be sure to go out there. Anybody that's still watching out there, go check out their website, go check out their social media stuff, doing some great stuff out there. All right, next up, I've looked at that thing like 10 times and I already know who's next, but I'm still nervous to want to make sure I do this right. Next up, we've got Antonio with Air Drilling Associates. Antonio, take it away, sir.
Right on, and good morning, Bangkok. And that's right, I'm actually joining today, guys, from Thailand. We're about to kick off a very exciting project for a new client, performing some unconventional drilling techniques. As David mentioned, my name is Antonio Torrealba, and I'm today representing ADA, or also known as the Drilling Associates. If you could, David, enlarge the slides, we'll keep it that way for the presentation. ADA is a global company. We are right. I mean, today in about actively around 10 countries, having operated in over 25 countries around the world. This is particularly impressive when we talk about actually a private company. We are headquarters in Houston, where we support most of the operations here around the globe. We are an unconventional drilling technique company. We started, of course, as our name says so, in the air drilling business, but quickly into it, we actually started incorporating into our services MPD and UBD. So basically, we go from air to foam, nitrogen, aerated fluid, all the way to UBD and MPD. Also very important to mention is that somehow throughout these years, we have also inherited all this know-how from two companies we acquired, about 5 years ago, pioneers in developing the UBD and MPD technology. We are a service company. We are not OME. We are not a rental company. We're not a technology company. We are a service company. Over the last 5-7 years, we have seen many spin-off companies and getting into MPD and such, of course, adding a great value, but also, all this equipment and also software have become almost like a commodity, making the service aspect of our business particularly relevant on what we do. So basically through different strategic alliances, we have access to different technology that we can incorporate and integrate into our MPD solutions. making us actually very competitive and cost effective too. The way we approach MPD, we have designed modular packages that allow us to cover an entire spectrum of services, going from an RCD and a single choke to a full-scale MPD package with error leak detection and the capability to suppress and circulate influx in an automatic mode. For this purpose, we have recognized in the industry different tiers of services that basically we classify from 1 to 5. Tier 1 being the most simple or basic approach, to a tier 5 where we're talking about HPHC well or critical sour wells, narrow window or extended laterals that require a much more detailed plan and robust system to execute these services. As you can see, we go from tier 1 to 5, and with that we increase also the automation level on our MPD packages. I love the slides because they all say says a picture worth 1,000 words, and you can see here how we basically have operate and execute a project on every single corner of the world, from the cold winters in Canada to the dry deserts in Oman, remote mountains in Iraq, and the harsh environment of offshore. And this is what we do. As I said, we provide services, integrated solution to implement, MPD, UBD, and other unconventional drilling techniques. Here, another aspect that makes us very special, of course, is our RCDs. We manufacture and design our own RCDs. We have a very large range of RCDs for different type of application, from low pressure to high pressure, single element to dual element RCDs. We have a continuous research and development program, always improving and providing more robust, safer, and reliable solution to our clients and the industry. There's no doubt that MPD actually is becoming a quite hot matter, and proof of that is over the 11,000 registered people that David had in the show. And also hot is geothermal. Especially over the last year, we have seen that the geothermal has gained a lot of traction in the energy sector, and ADA basically brings both of these matters together. We are very excited to see how MPD and UBD approaches have been applied more and more when drilling for geothermal. Also, and being so spread out throughout the globe, we also recognize, as McDonald's, Starbucks, or Coca-Cola has done, that consistency and reliability is key to be able to position ourselves as a leader in MPD services. So we work every day very hard to be very reliable, consistency, and repeatable on our services and the way we execute, plan, and coordinate projects. Just to summarize, I think that I would like to end saying that ADA is a very accessible company. We have a very flat organizational structure with direct access to decision-making people. We follow always an application-centered approach when designing or preparing for MPD projects, trying to, of course, being very conscious of the cost and also without compromising quality for our clients. We do believe in integrating MPD to the actual operation, not really from an equipment-only point of view, but also at the planning stages. And here, I cannot stress enough the fact that MPD is not just about enhancing safety or improving performance, but also delivering better wells. I would have loved to be able to present prior the actually operator panel, because I'm impressed with the sometime obsession for drilling cheaper well, faster wells, and we forget about what's actually more important, which is drilling for production. And I think MPD it's actually a great tool to improve, production of these wells, drilling in better wells. Also, we promise seamless transition from planning to execution. We take a lot of pride in how we work as a group and manage these transitions without really dropping the ball on any single aspect. And more importantly, we get the job done and done right. So David, with this, I guess back to you. The floor is yours.
Antonio, thank you so much for joining us from Thailand today. I know it's late there, but thank you so much for being here and taking part in the event. All right, next up, we've got the guys over at Drillsoft. Omar, hopefully he's ready to go. I know he was nervous about to unmute, and then it's all yours, sir.
All right. Can you hear me? Good morning from Houston, and thank you for the opportunity, David. We are very excited to be a part of this event. My name is Omar Kaldram, and I'm a drilling engineer with Drillsoft. I'm going to talk about our software packages and provide some updates. When we first set out to design our software, we focused on three main things: accuracy, enhanced MPD and non-MPD calculations, and a simplistic user interface. With this, we ended up with our transient drilling hydraulic software and our real-time well model. To start off, we would design our well in our simulator and plan for various cases and operations such as surge and swab envelopes, fluid rollover and displacements, MPD modes for controlled surface back pressure, controlled bottom hole pressure, anchor point pressure, and ECD, and controlled standpipe pressure. We could also run kick simulations and generate influx management envelopes, perform riserless drilling, and pressurized and floating mudcap drilling. With our batch mode operation, we can set multiple operations with MPD controls and generate field-ready reports. We've also developed our own temperature model and hole cleaning model to simulate the effects of cuttings, temperature, and pressure on the ECD profile and the pressure profile. We are happy to announce we launched one of the first pressurized and floating mudcap drilling simulators, where you can simulate loss of circulation and total loss of circulation, gas migration, reverse circulation, and bullheading of multiple different types of fluid simultaneously, and track these fluids, volumes, and locations throughout the wellbore. The velocity profile will be plotted to help with the bullheading operation and the gas migration. And batch mode can be used for PMCD cycles. The PMCD cycles for bullheading and drilling. This will generate a report for the field. This video I'm about to display is for a floating mudcap drilling operation where we're in total losses. We have seawater in the drill pipe, and we pump in heavy mud using the booster. We can also pump heavy mud at the top, and the well schematic is updated to show the voided region. The ECD profile updates, and the exact volume and location of each fluid is displayed in the fluid tracking. Once the well is configured, we can move it into our real-time well model. Our real-time well model can send and receive data using various communications protocols. This rapid communication protocol allows the software to make quick calculations and make updates to the well profile for ECD and pressure so that the operator can visualize the well accurately. The software can stream data to our secured web viewer for remote monitoring just using any browser or anywhere in the world. And the software can generate activity reports by automatically capturing activity codes, and will plot a time-based breakdown for each activity. We've seen very positive results with tracking our PWD and surface pressures. Our customers were able to analyze data, anticipate issues, and make changes in the well and see how this is affecting the well model while doing MPD operations. When coupled with our simulator software, we can make changes into the software and visualize how a change in flow rate, fluid density, fluid type, pressure, or ECD would affect the actual well before making the actual change. We've also coupled our software, our real-time well model, with our very own choke manifold to launch a fully automatic Drillsoft dual choke electric MPD manifold. Our choke manifold has two 4-inch 5,000 PSI chokes, a Coriolis meter. It is fully automatic with our real-time well model and all of its features included, and it occupies a light footprint. The way we set up our PLC allows for remote control of the PLC from within the location, and this manifold can be customized depending on our customers' desires. At this point, I would like to thank all of our customers for their continued support and feedback. This feedback is key to our improving software and making changes. I'd also like to thank David for this opportunity, and the audience. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to email us at info@drillsoft.com. I'll also drop my email into the comments box. And thank you. Back to you, David.
Omar, thank you so much. Now, I know you can get rid of the stress of this event and go back to the other stressful stuff of defending your dissertation here pretty soon. And I know it'll go just fine. Congratulations ahead of time on getting all of that done, sir.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Next up, let me see where all the buttons and everything are moving around so fast. All right. Last but not least, we've got our final presentation, and then we'll have the drilling contractors panel. We've got Matt with Stasis. Matt, take it away, sir.
Hi, David. Thank you for the introduction. The team here at Stasis Drilling Solutions is excited to be part of the inaugural virtual MPD event at Gibson's Reports. My name is Matt Qualo. I'm the engineering manager here at Stasis Drilling Solutions. Today, we've heard from a lot of our colleagues about their philosophies and technology for implementing MPD. And today, I would like to talk to you about Stasis's unique execution-focused approach to managed pressure drilling. Here at Stasis, the customer's goals and objectives always come first. Using our unique proprietary MPD 360 process, we evaluate and optimize the MPD equipment and program for each of our customers and their unique wells. This holistic process, based off of lean methodologies, allows Stasis and its partners to achieve results reaching far beyond the traditional goal of preventing influxes or mitigating losses. Besides being an engineering and service provider for MPD, Stasis is one of the few MPD providers that is also powered by an original equipment manufacturer, which we proudly manufacture all our valves, chokes, and associated components here in the United States. This vertical integration allows Stasis to manage the quality and customer objectives from the smallest component in the Stasis Impact MPD system through the precise on-site execution of the MPD program. Additionally, with our strategic partnerships of other industry equipment providers, Stasis is able to provide best-in-class service and technology for our customers regardless of the challenge they faced. Based on our customers' objectives and basin-specific requirements, Stasis can assemble various configurations of our Impact MPD system. This is through our strategic partnerships and our OEM capabilities, such as the highly mobile trailer-mounted unit you can see behind me. This unit here has allowed Stasis to go from call out to fully rigged up in less than 8 hours. In addition to being able to custom manufacture our equipment to integrate into each drilling rig's unique configuration, Stasis also has developed our own proprietary software control system with full rig integration capabilities. Our MPD 360 philosophy allows us to continually drive improvements into our equipment designs based on our customers' evolving challenges. MPD 360 is our methodology for designing our customers' MPD programs. This all starts with a deep dive to understand every facet of our customers' challenges and their objectives in utilizing MPD. By examining all the operations during the well construction process, an MPD roadmap is developed to succinctly communicate what's to be done during each operation and the parameters one should expect. This clear communication of the plan between the office and the well site allows alignment of objectives between the operators, drilling contractors, and Stasis to achieve the goals that were originally set out in the planning event. Our continuous improvement culture focuses on customer value and ensures that all improvements align with customer objectives. The MPD 360 is never complete until all those lessons learned of each project is driven back into our planning, our operations, and our engineering for the challenges to come. Stasis's MPD 360's acute focus on efficient wellbore construction and operational execution benefits our partners with reduced trip times, improved wellbore stability, and decreased circulating times, which goes far beyond the traditional goal of staying within the drilling window. I can proudly say that one of our recent operational improvements that we've done has cut in half the additional time of utilizing MPD in U.S. land operations. Since 2015, using industry-leading MPD equipment and services, Stasis Drilling Solutions has drilled close to 5 million feet utilizing MPD. With over 430 wells completed in all major U.S. land, gas, and oil basins, in addition to offshore and internationally, the MPD 360, coupled with our dedicated field personnel, which average about 10 years industry experience, has continued to be our formula for success and will do so for the future. Thank you, Martine. This package looks like it's ready for its next project. If you'd like it to be yours, please reach out to us at sales@stasisdrilling.com. Thank you, David. Thank you all for your time, and we hope to help you evolve your drilling process soon.
Wow, absolutely amazing presentation. And Martine, I know you probably can't hear me, but thanks for being here. We do appreciate you looking over the equipment. Awesome job with the guys there at Stasis. That rounds out all of our presentations. Up next, now we're going to have our drilling contractors panel. We've got a handful of people to be able to bring on with this one. So guys, give me just a second. Let me get all of the little buttons and stuff and everything kind of clued up here, queued up, whatever. All right, so let's do this. All right, so we've got Blake Fussell with Noble. And I didn't mean to be able to do it this way, but this is how it's working. Nick Horde with Standard Drilling. Thank you, sir, for being here. Constantine with Maersk, and then Mark with Neighbors. All right, let me see if I can, because it didn't work the way I thought it would. Granted, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack from my friends about this, so there we go. There we go. Now everything's working right. Thank you guys for sticking with me for the entire set of presentations and the other panel. So what we'll do is we'll first go around the room and let everybody kind of introduce himself. Blake, we'll start with you. Go ahead, sir.
Hi, good morning. Blake Fussell with Noble. Been in the industry since about 2011. Conventional drilling before that since 2001. A little time off for school here and there.
All right, Nick.
Hi there, David. Nick Ward, I'm the MPD manager at Standard Drilling.
Excellent. All right, Mark, we'll go down to you, sir.
Hi, David. My name's Mark Hartle. I'm the director at Neighbors Drilling, responsible for our MPD operations, tubular running services, and then also a member of our internal well control committee.
And finally, rounding out here with us, Constantine.
Hi, David, and hello to everybody from sunny Copenhagen. So my name is Konstantin Pushkarsky. I'm head of technical in the international division of Maersk Drilling. The division we have all our floaters, drill ships, and semis. And what is my connection to MPD? I have installed and started a number of deep water and surface MPD systems all around the world: Norway, Gulf of Mexico, Malaysia, Australia. David.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys all for being here. And just to let everybody know there in the audience, just as per normal, this is a panel discussion. So we want to be able to have this be as interactive as possible. So please, if you guys can, start asking your questions. Let us know what you think. Let us be the facilitator of your questions to this panel. All right. So we'll go ahead and get started. Constantine, we'll go ahead and start with you. When it comes to MPD services and MPD practices, what are you looking for, sir?
Well, I truly believe that eventually MPD will be an integral part of the drilling services provided by the drilling contractor, i.e. equipment will belong to the drilling contractor and operated by the drilling contractor. We, in Maersk Drilling, we entertain the smarter drilling for the better value strategy where we embrace additional service such as MPD. So this is my vision of where we will be.
All right, Nick, and yourself?
I guess we've fully embraced MPD. It's just it's getting part of the day-to-day now. We've got half of our fleet drilling MPD wells right now, and we are keen for that to grow. We just want to use the best technologies that are out there, and we've absolutely embraced MPD, and we consider that to be one of the best drilling technologies available to us, and so have our clients. So that's our outlook on it.
Blake?
I agree with Nick and Constantine. We've embraced MPD as a company. We've got varied systems on different rigs, and we're committed to using our own personnel when we can, and we have absolutely no problems bringing in third-party personnel, working with them in concert with our clients.
All right, and Mark.
Yeah, Neighbors is in a unique position in the MPD space. We offer the service, with both single and dual choke systems integrated into the rigs, but we also need to accommodate the install and coordinate with any and all MPD providers that the operator may select for their drilling activities. There can be different levels of integration across these options, but Martin Parker from Pruitt, who kicked off the festivities today, made a very impactful statement to me, and that was that, he said MPD is not, just dropping off a choke at the rig, and I couldn't agree more with that. Proper well planning, influx, management plans, coordination with the driller, equipment selection and function is far more impactful and important than just dropping off that choke and expecting a company man to execute. This can only be achieved, dropping that choke off and having successful operations can only be achieved with proper training and planning. So my stance, half-hearted MPD planning and execution can be a huge catalyst for well control events, stuck pipe, reduced drilling performance. So, planning and competency is key to Neighbors.
All right, so we do have our first question coming up, and this one's actually from Mr. John DeWart, and everybody's screens get moved here, but we'll go with it for just a second. Do the drilling contractors see MPD becoming ubiquitous across the industry? Constantine, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, I would say so. These days, what we see, it's probably about 40% of the deepwater tenders require MPD. One way or another. So yeah, and it's a steady curve for the last several years.
Mark, being on the land-based side, what are your thoughts?
I do. Yeah, I do in various forms. There can be differing levels of MPD to be deployed on land and offshore rigs, but drilling contractors and MPD operations need to continue to grow and kind of align together to execute plans. And the value proposition and education to the operators on the versatility and applications of MPD need to be constantly reinforced. In my opinion, the unique thing to MPD is that a lot of times the ultimate success is when certain things don't happen, and that's what we're looking for, is the reduction of stuck pipe events, well-controlled downtime associated with influxes, ballooning losses, etc. So I feel that MPD and varying forms of intensity will definitely become ubiquitous, across specifically the lower 48 fleet.
Nick, what do you think about that as far as MPD becoming ubiquitous on the drilling contractor side?
I think the it's a big industry, and there's lots of parts, and they can seem like distinct industries in themselves. Land drilling versus deep water drilling, shelf drilling, mid and shallow water drilling. I can speak about deep water drilling, and I guess to some extent mid water drilling, which is where our MPD fleet operates, and it's certainly going that way. Just to give you some numbers, we started using MPD and Anger on our rigs back in 2016, 2017. And between 2016 to 2020, we drilled 10 deep water wells we're looking like in 2021 we're going to drill another 10 deep water wells. So in 1 year, doubling the amount of wells that we've drilled in the past 5 years. So that's what we're seeing personally, and going back to Constantine's point, yeah, we're seeing similar numbers so far as the deep water tenders are concerned. You're looking at 30, 40, even 50% of tenders coming in, mentioning MPD in some forms. Now, some operators are asking for it as a must-have, and some operators are asking for it as a bolt-on. You know, is this something that could be available? So, in the deep water sector, it's moving that way, certainly, and I think that will be the first sector to potentially get there first, just because of the nature of it and all these rigs that are becoming equipped with MPD standard.
Blake, any thoughts?
I agree. Once again, I agree. The tenders that we see, if they don't ask for it specifically, they are at least curious about it to see how much it would cost, you know, what the benefits would be to them on the specific campaign. But and I see it becoming ubiquitous, because it's not going to look like, it may not look like an MPD kit on each rig and an MPD crew on each rig, but it could be the fact that we have an open architecture system that's going to be passed around from rig to rig and from campaign to campaign, and the guys moving with it and helping train each rig and each crew as to how we are going to perform these MPD wells.
All right, so the next question we had come up here. With drilling contractors offering MPD as a service, do you see them replacing the traditional suppliers while they evolve into OEMs and engineering consultants? So do you see the drilling contractors vertically integrating into this space, Blake?
To an extent. I don't think that we'll ever be able to replace the knowledge and experience that third party is going to have. And at the same time, the biggest downfall in this is you train a crew and you have the equipment on the rig, and you may have a set of wells afterwards that you're not using MPD on. And with the slowdown in the industry, it's the first thing that's going to get cut is anybody that's not going to get used for better part of a year, maybe more. So what do you do in those times? Hopefully you can put those people into positions where they can be used elsewhere. Maybe you have MPD operations going on somewhere else, but as MPD would go, come from third party, you either have 6 or 8 wells to do, or you might have 1. And so it's an age-old question of what you're going to do with those people. You're always going to need third party help to bridge the gap with experience to make sure that you have competent people on every MPD well.
Nick?
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what Blake said there. I think to a great extent, we have integrated much of what those service companies were offering, certainly by way of the equipment and the operation of that equipment. I think in the deep water sector, it's the chances of an operator renting a system for a one-off well is that maybe gone out the window completely, given that we've got so many rigs, deep water rigs there sitting with MPD kits available. That part in the middle about the operation of the system, we're assuming as much of that as we practically can and safely can. But exactly as Blake said, you know, when we're dealing with one MPD well here and then another MPD well 9 months down the line, that ability to have crew constantly on board for that MPD system, it's difficult. But in Guyana, where we're working just now, we've got quite extensive MPD scopes down there. We now have the ability to have that consistent crew on board, so we've got that. But the last part, which the MPD service companies have always, you know, offered as part of their entire rental service, which is the MPD engineering side of things, that's much more variable. That's really down to the client and what they want. Do they want us to arrange that for them? Do they want to bring in their own third party? Or do they have their own in-house MPD engineering services? We've seen all 3 of those models, and that last piece is the part that I think is going to stay very variable for a very long time. The other 2 parts, equipment, all our companies are already doing that. The operation of it, all our companies are doing parts of that.
All right, Constantine, I see you shaking your head. Yes.
Yeah,
slightly.
I can just say about Blake and Nick. Of course, it's yeah. How many MPD wells you're drilling per year? Yeah, it could be 10, could be 15, could be none. Yeah, could be one. It's difficult to retain such a highly qualified specialists in your company when they don't have anything to do. Then you also need to think about the software license or developing the software, like many service providers developing the software, own software, like what we just seen from Kelda, for example. We are not capable to develop such a software, and probably we don't want to. It's really not our bread and butter to develop such software. So I think the service companies will be always will be out there. Well, at least for some time, for sure.
All right, Mark.
Sure. Neighbors has taken steps forward and been successful thus far on varying portions of vertical integration. We do believe that the driller and the rig need to have the competency and ultimate responsibility for well control. I mean, that can be achieved with our own MPD equipment and our trained drillers, and it also can be achieved with the right partnership with any non-neighbor service provider. And it was a kind of a coming home party today during the other presentations, because we interact with many of these individuals from Pruitt and Kelda and Weatherford on a daily basis, and some of those technologies both support our MPD offering, as well as we need to adapt rigs and processes to accommodate their hardware at times as well. So I feel that vertical integration with the drilling contractors will become more and more prevalent, but at the same time, we're certainly not going to deter anybody else's equipment or processes as well, as long as we're both aligned with the same objective, because our KPIs as a drilling contractor are strictly aligned with what MPD is trying to provide. So agree with everything the other panelists said as well.
All right, we're going to find something to make you guys disagree with each other. To the panel, what have you as drilling contractors experienced as the main hurdle or difficulty when you have moved into the MPD space? Constantine?
Yeah, thank you, Glenn-Ole. I think we still miss sustainable business cases for the full scale deepwater integration, where such integration can cost you what, I don't know, depends, $22, $27, $25 million per vessel. And then you also, on top of it, you receive a big chunk of maintenance with you. Same, I guess, goes for the operators, because they also face some high OPEX costs, which also could vary very much, depends what system they use and so on. So I think this is one of the biggest challenges. So we are getting there. What we have probably about 40, 45 deepwater MPD systems out there now, and how many floaters we have still available? 100, 120. So I guess we are probably 30% of the deepwater fleet currently integrated with MPD. So we just need to close this gap, and I think we need to be a bit more cost conscious and cost efficient to close this gap. David?
Mark?
Sure. I would say one of the biggest difficulties with our integration of MPD onto the drilling rigs is just the infrequency of MPD wells from time to time. So our stance towards integration onto the drilling rig and the associated hardware has a cost to it. And not so much with the international markets, but the lower 48 market can be very transactional at times, where the application of MPD is not going to be a unanimous decision across all wells on a pad or a program or a basin or even the length of that drilling rig contract. So we've had to be adaptable and cost focused to make sure that we can deliver the service in the manner that we intend, but also make it economical and adaptable to a fast-paced transactional lower 48 market.
Blake, biggest challenges y'all faced in introducing MPD?
Well, in the last couple of years, I think it's been the lack of your traditional long-term contracts where you can plan out the cost of putting a system on a rig over the course of 4 years, and that be a single contract. It's just that when that went the way of the Buffalo, it became very hard to try to justify a very large cost for a deepwater MPD system. And you might have, okay, well, we're going to use on this next well. The 2 after that, we're not sure. And then there's 3 options where we might. And so it's like, okay, that's a lot of money up front for one definite well, and then possibly 6 afterwards that we don't know. And that's been the biggest hurdle, is to get money spent on the system, but then also everything that goes along with it, which is having a very experienced, competent crew that is going to give you your best chance of success for you and the client, and maintaining a very good relationship with that client and developing their trust in you and the MPD industry in general. I believe that's been our biggest hurdle.
And Nick, from your side?
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm going to have to disappoint you and agree with everyone again, because it's utilization. And particularly in the deep water realm, the industry came to us. The operators came to us 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and said, we want your rigs to have MPD kit. So we've kind of met our side of the bargain, but the operators are still to get to the point where they're using them as much as they need to be used to make it work as an industry and as a sector. We are at Stena, we are pretty confident we're providing a very high quality service, but things are only going to improve when it's getting used well after well after well, and we're able to make more efficiencies, reduce crews, improve timings and all that sorts of thing. I think it's MPD taking on to our rigs. It's a very organic, step that we took. It's incorporating equipment that we're very, very familiar with in different parts of the rig. It's just been brought together in a certain way. Yeah, it's different to conventional drilling, but it is a step, from conventional drilling. It's not a complete paradigm shift. It's still, at the end of the day, pressure at the bottom of a hole. It's just how we put it there is slightly different. It's just one extra element that we're adding to an extent. So it's all been pretty organic and pretty simple. It's not been, a lot of hard work's gone into it, but we've done it and we've done it well. But we want to do it well every well now. That's where we are, and it's got to be the operators that take us there.
All right, so we've got this question. I don't know what this 3-letter acronym stands for, but to the panel, do you see combining MPD and CCD to complete well in the future? That's from Gary. Gary, thanks for the question. I'll let any one of you answer that one.
I mean, I'm assuming CCD is some acronym for a continuous circulation device, which is similar to Scott Petrie's. If it is similar to Scott Petrie's presentation, non-stop driller is a term, continuous circulation. It's as I said a little bit earlier, that there are varying forms of MPD, and this can be single chokes, orbit valves, full dual choke skids, continuous circulation devices, and sometimes, in my opinion, MPD can merely be an enhanced look at the wellbore schematics and planning of mud weights, regardless of some sort of RCD or choke device. So I feel any and all equipment that was covered today and the utilization of it is certainly going to reshape how we drill wells in the future.
I think I've got an inkling that I've read a paper that has already been used together. E&I think, have used constant circulation and surface back pressure MPD in the same application. And I think the reason, any rig that's equipped with those 2 systems, it's going to be quite a heavy arsenal it takes into battle, and it'll be able to solve a lot of problems. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of cost involved there, and I think it's going to be the operator that's going to be driving that initiative. As I say, the drilling contractors have seen the logic behind the surface back pressure systems, the closed loop surface back pressure systems, and we've adopted them by and large. I'd be surprised if anyone goes out and buys a constant circulation system anytime soon, direct. But as I say, operators, as far as I'm aware, have done it in the past, and I think the next time it happens, it's going to be operator-led.
All right, for sake of you guys agreeing with each other, we'll jump off to the next one. All right, so what do you guys see as the future of MPD? Blake?
I really honestly really speak to what I see the future of our company's version of MPD is going to be, and I believe it's going to be a set of rigs that are set up for a certain type of system that is modular and transferable along with our experience and crew. I think that's going to be a way to get our best foot forward and keep costs down enough to where we can justify getting, say, a number of MPD ready rigs with one having the MPD system on it at that time. We get into a situation where we need more, then we'll have more that will fit directly into the infrastructure that we already got in place.
Constantine?
Yeah, I agree with Nick, but just to say something different, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of the controlled mud level systems, or maybe if you go further into the R&D space, maybe subsea RCDs with the riserless drilling. I mean, these sort of things, but they're not matured yet for the commercial deployment. Mid-riser pumps, subsea pumps, but controlled mud level is out there. It's being used, and I think there is certainly a niche for this application.
Mark, what do you see as the future of MPD?
I see the placement of MPD products, devices, and processes onto rigs continuing to grow, and the primary reason for that is that most drilling operations around the world are adapting additional aspects of a factory drilling model. I mean, and in my opinion, the only way to achieve a efficient factory drilling model is to control and make things predictable. And through MPD, continuous circulation, and combinations thereof, when pressure profiles are predictable, manageable, and outside events such as well control events that may wreck your AFE become less and less, the industry will continue to take notice and capture the value of what these systems can provide to execute their drilling plans.
And Nick?
I see the future being getting used more and more to the point of ubiquity, as mentioned earlier. I see / hope that our clients are continuing to educate themselves and educating their staff such that MPD prospects are being seen more often and quicker when they're looking at wells. I'm hoping that it's going to move into all sides of the drilling industry, from exploration and complex exploration, where it's kind of, as far as we're seeing, that's where deep water MPDs getting used the most, in those exploration wells and the ones that have been identified as being complex or high risk. But I'm hoping that it's going to get to the point where we're using it in decommissioning as well, because there are real benefits, and everything in between, appraisal drilling and development drilling, because there are benefits to be had in every single type of drilling, but that needs to be identified by good engineers who are then making the business case to managers and the people who hold the purse strings and explaining to them, this is going to save us money in the long term. And I truly believe that it will. So far as Sten is concerned, where I see it going is when that happens and we're drilling these wells one after the other, we're going to consolidate, we're going to reduce our crews. Where we're sitting just now, we always see MPD personnel on the rig, the full integration. I will sit on this side of the fence which says no, it's not all going to be on the driller at any point. You're going to have MPD guys on there who are going to be looking at the holistic side, but also looking specifically at the MPD control system. So that's where I see it going with Stena specifically. And then just one other point, which I guess we could have mentioned earlier. I think one of the big areas that the industry needs to address is bearing assemblies and the reliability of those bearing assemblies. I think that's one area where some step change can happen. I think it's a bit of a weak point. It's something that's manageable at the moment, but we could get so much more out of them. But it's going to take, the industry working together. It's not going to be one single company that sorts that one out. Although if they do, they'll make a lot of money.
All right, so we've got a question that came in that's gotten a lot of people to agree with asking. So Glenn asks, it'd be very interesting to hear what the panel would think about circulating out influxes using MPD system. Reference Carlos Nunez's question about the evolution of influx handling for deep water wells. Might be some offering of different opinions on the panel. Uh-oh, what did that thing? Go away. Go away. There it goes. All right. Mark, you want to start us off with that one?
I mean, the idea with influxes is to hopefully avoid them as much as possible. But, the one thing that we develop ourselves for our own MPD operations, as well as alignment with any other provider that's providing MPD services on our rigs, is we jointly develop a influx management matrix. And this is a grid that is going to provide guidance to our drillers and our operations on how to handle and how to mitigate varying levels of influx. So generally speaking, if I'm interpreting the question correctly, it's our action is going to have to be closely related to the severity of the influx and the plan that was set forth to begin with.
Blake?
Well, obviously the first thing that comes up is just caution, and we want to be very cautious. We do see some possible benefits because you will have a thermal cooling effect when you come up that will decrease some of your intensive, very little. And then in deep water, you're going to be chopping that influx up with introducing drilling fluid through the boost line. So there is that. But then at the end of the day, if there's any sort of unknown, like if there's a possible cross flow and any other unknown, we go back to conventional. It's just there's still a margin of safety that we have to keep, and we will keep, and we still leave much of that up to the discretion of the driller.
Okay, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, at Stena Drilling, we've fully embraced dynamic influx management, and we do it. We have done it. The benefit of these MPD systems being that we catch it when it's relatively speaking very small, and we're able to handle it safely. And as Blake mentioned, when it's getting to surface, it's almost imperceptible. We're not getting any trace of it. The hissing of gas at the choke is not something that's going to happen in those cases because of how strung out it's going to be. So we've absolutely adopted it. We're working with all our clients who want to. I would say, from our perspective, sometimes our clients are the ones that are not fully there when it comes to dynamic influx management. Some of them are so ready to do it because they understand the benefits of it and believe in the benefits of it, and some are not. For what you can understand are the obvious reasons. When you think about it the first time, having spent a lifetime thinking about conventional well control, it is a bit of a leap to get there. So we've fully embraced it, and we do it. I mean, people will be sick hearing me at any conferences I've been involved in and committee meetings and things like that I've been involved with. I always come up with this argument, but when it comes to volumes and things like that, I do think there's still a debate that has to be had around volumes when it comes to dynamic influx management. Not because of the physics, not because of what a well can withstand when being circulated out, but just if we're getting up into certain volumes, well, then something has gone wrong with the detection and the control side of things. And as a company, I think we are drawing a dotted line somewhere at the moment, not because of what is possible with IMEs and dynamic influx management, but, well, at a certain point, you need to say the early kick detection has failed. We didn't catch it early enough. We didn't control it early enough because the influx is too big.
All right, finally, Constantine, you.
Yeah, we in Myers Drilling, we fully embrace it as far as it's properly planned, engineered, risk assessed. We did it. We do it now. And maybe for the audience, there is a document developed by AIDC MPD committee called Influx Management Addendum. This is addendum to the API 92 series for the subsea and the surface tax. If anybody interested, just have a copy of it and read it. It's really cool reading. Of course, I will not offer it to the person who asks this question because he's a part of this committee and a part of writing this document. But for others, who is watching us, please do so.
All right, one last question. We'll let you guys go. What imparting message would you like to be able to give to the community about MPD? Mark?
That my parting message is that we need to embrace the planning, the training, and the execution of it, and not treat it purely as the deployment of hardware. That's where the ultimate value can come from.
Excellent. Blake?
Yeah, to the guy on the rig, this is something that you want to be a part of because it's obviously going to be the future of drilling, and this isn't something to be afraid of. This is not something that's going to take your job. It's going to be your next job.
Excellent. Nick?
I would say from our perspective and in the deep water realm specifically, it has been done safely and efficiently. It is being done safely and efficiently. I mentioned we've got 3 rigs currently drilling deep water MPD wells, and it is saving operators millions of dollars. It is reducing their exposure to risk. And if you're not doing it, then think about doing it. Speak to someone about what the benefits are, because you'll very, very quickly come round to it. We had one drilling superintendent come to one of our MPD training sessions that we had set up for another operator, but they kindly let them come to this training session. And at the end, this drilling superintendent got on the phone to his drilling manager to say, I want to use this MPD system on this rig because I can't justify not using it. And I think it's a case of if you build it, they will come.
Excellent. And finally, Constantine?
Yes, just same as everybody, but yeah, I think it's also important to also provide you extra safety. It's a technology which also really add on the safety side. So why don't you use it?
All right.
It also provides you the predictability, because a lot of people talk about, faster drilling, faster tripping and so on, but it's not about the faster drilling, it's about drilling in a more predictable way. This is what is most important, predictability, not faster.
Excellent point. Well, thank you all for you guys for taking part in this event. I look forward to potentially the day where I can get offshore and do a live stream from one of the one of the rigs. So if any of you guys know who I need to talk to, just send me a message. Let me know. I'll go do my Hewitt training again, Safe Gulf, whatever certifications I got to do to be able to get back out on the rig. It's been too long since I've been offshore. All right. Guys, thank y'all so much. It's been an absolutely amazing presentation. For everybody that's still watching, we're going to do one more thing here. All right, let's boop, 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 boop. I didn't hit the button in time. There we go. All right, let's do another drawing. Let's draw things for some more stuff. For everybody that is still watching, thank you guys so much for taking part in this, for promoting it on LinkedIn, for inviting your friends, for just, pushing it out there on social media, tagging your friends in comments, tagging colleagues, letting people know about it. We're going to continue to do events. We're going to try to, we can give away that. We're going to continue to do events. We're going to continue to try to push the envelope and be able to bring more of the industry experts directly to you in a quick, expeditious format in a way that can't be done in person. So we're trying to do online what can't be done in person. We're not trying to replicate in-person stuff. There's lots and tons of value in that. We can't replicate that, but what we can do is do something that is ubiquitous to everybody in the industry, gives everybody the chance to be able to tune in. It's free. You can watch it now. You can watch it live. You can watch it afterwards. Thank you guys all so much. So for the drawing, you don't have to put in hashtag Gibson. You just have to put in any comment. It doesn't matter. Just any comment starting right now. Just write something, anything. You could just put letters in. It could be a thank you. It could be anything. Thank you guys all so much for being here. All right. So Paul Francis says, good initiative. Thank you, David. Isabel says, thank you all. Nick's watching backstage. He says, hello. He's in for it. Amin, thanks for being here. John Weatherly, thanks for you watching as well. Carlos Nunez, Justin Baker, Maria too did. Thank you so much, Maria. Happy to have you here watching. LinkedIn users, thanks for putting this together. Another great event. Well done, Kratz, the rest of the Gibson Reports team. Yes, we do have a very small team. We do have a team. All right, guys, keep putting in some comments. Let's try to at least get this one over 100 as well. All you have to do is just comment anything. Just anything in the comments. You could just on the keyboard. That's it. Just type some letters, press enter. That's it. I wanted to make this as easy as possible for everybody to be able to win something. Predictability of drilling is what we do. All right. I'm glad to see people doing this. Is it possible to watch again? Mark, yes, it is possible to watch again. As soon as we finish, both on LinkedIn and on YouTube, YouTube is a little bit better place to be able to watch content afterwards. The majority of all the comments and stuff will be on LinkedIn. So if you want to watch there, you can. You'll still be able to find the link and be able to go back and watch, but you can do it on YouTube and on LinkedIn. All right. So we are up to 84, 86, 87. Tons of comments now rolling in. Richard says, thank you. Thank you, Richard, for taking part. Todd Parker says, you demand ERCOT electricity held out long enough for you to stay online. It's a very good point that I didn't even think of. Andrea says, awesome show as always. If you guys don't know, on the Vidor Locksmith show, we do a minute with Andrea Switzer. She's an absolutely amazing drilling engineer based out in West Texas. She is currently looking for a job. So if you are looking for a drilling engineer, give her a shout. Get in touch with her. Connect with her on LinkedIn. This is what I'm talking about. Keith did it. Just type in letters. There you go. We got it done. Greg Deaton did it too. Awesome. Benedicte? That's a tough one. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. All right. We're still getting tons of them coming in. Scott Petrie, thanks for being a part of this with Scott. You got tons of questions. When your thing was going, we got tons of questions for that one. Keith Baker, Goonie Goo Goo Gus. Sounds good to me. Chelsea Todd told me to do this. All right. Stuck pipe can come free. Just call vibration before you back off your pipe. Paul Moore, the guys over at Vibration Technology. Yeah, give those guys a call. Oh, we've got 100. We hit it. We hit 100. Paul says, thank you, David. Awesome show and truly great to see and hear some many good people in MPD out there. All right. All right. We're up to 100. All right, now I've got to do my thing. Share screen. Boop, 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 boop. Share screen. Share screen. We'll go window. We'll pick this one. Share. We'll throw it up onto the screen. We are up over 100 comments. All right. If you guys are ready, here we go. Drawing starts now. All right. Future of MPD. Yeah, that was a great one. All right, guys. Thank y'all so much for taking part in. Oh, my gosh. If I end up winning it, that's going to be ridiculous. That would not be. Ilya Pobedensky. I'm probably pronouncing that right. But send me a message. Winner came from YouTube. So send me a message. We'll get you a VR headset. I totally forgot to tell everybody what they were going for. VR headset and one of the awesome Gibson Reports drilling bits. thank you guys all for taking part in this so very, very much. Until next time, let me take this back off the screen. Pull this up so that I do everything I'm supposed to do. There we go. Until next time, guys, know your industry.